I'm Frankie McDonald, and you're watching SimpCast, starring Chrissie Mayr.
Hey everybody, I'm going to address the issue. I did not start the fires at all. People start rumors about Frank don't start fires. It wasn't true at all. I didn't start fires at all. I don't start fires at all. The Frank don't.
Sally ride, heavy metal suicide.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Oh, she's in pounce mode.
The middle finger if she could. Watch this. She's literally in the pre-pouncing position.
Uh-oh.
Look.
Why does she hate you so? Come on. Six, that's your stepmom.
It's not too bad. Look at that.
You know the good one more.
Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl?
Oh my god, Six is such a cunt. How can you let that stand, Gino?
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Yeah.
Stock up on emergency clams, just 79 cents a can. And on your way out, try your luck at our new arcade machine.
Buddy. Daddy. Now. Be wary of him. Don't settle for your destiny. No.
Wow, this parents are this true. You really just will eat anything.
The best podcaster in the world. Chrissie Mayr. This is a comedian who's famous in her own right, born in Rockville Center, Long Island, a fellow Islander. I remember taking the train home from Howard Stern and NYU, and you always knew you were getting close to Massapequa when you hear Rockville Center. Rockville Center is the next stop, and then you go down the line, but at least you know you're out of the city. She hosts a show called The Wet Spot on Compound Media. She recently just got married, and I want to congratulate her. right here in person, if you will, or through this stream. And I wish her well, ladies and gentlemen, the queen of the Dabbleverse, the first lady in dabbling, the real architect of Dabblers Anonymous, without even trying. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chrissie Mayr to the show.
Oh my God, John! What an introduction! Wow, thank you, John. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The stuttering John didn't stutter once, by the way, on that whole thing. Welcome to SimpCast. So happy to be here with you on this Sunday. It is, gosh, is it the last Sunday of July? It is. It's July 30th. Very happy and excited to bring in this panel of ladies. But before I do, I have a couple of comedy shows to discuss with you all. I can't believe it. Next week, I will be in Texas. This trip has come up so quickly. Next week, I'll be flying to Texas. I'm headlining in Houston. I'll be at Roscoe's Comedy Club Wednesday, August 9th. Nice late show. You know what happens on the late shows? We get weird, okay? And it's on a hump day. So come see me headline Roscoe's Comedy Club in Austin Wednesday, August 9th with Lila Hart featuring, she is just a bundle of joy. I feel like every time I describe her, it's words that you would use to describe a baby. I'm like, she's just a bouncing bundle of joy. She's freaking hilarious. We're going to be... I'm going to be making a stop at InfoWars. Drinking Bros, going to do the whole Austin scene. Then we got Anime Matsuri, August 10th through the 13th. We'll be floating around the convention. I have 2 costumes ready to go. I think I need a third, though. So help me figure out what I should dress up as. Then I'll be heading to Houston Friday, August 11th, headlining The Secret Group. Nice early show, 7:00. So if you're going to be at the convention, if you're going to be at Anime Matsuri next weekend, come to the comedy show. Come hang out with everybody. Lila will be featuring at this show as well. She's super fun, super hilarious. Then me and her will be appearing at the Liberty Awards in Austin, Texas, the Saturday, August 12th. So it's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of driving, a lot of craziness. Then I'm back in Long Island, October 27th and 28th at the Brokerage Comedy Club in Bellmore. Tickets are about to go on sale. I'm going to be back in Tampa December 3rd at Side Splitters, working on a September trip now for LA. September 8th and 9th, I will definitely be performing in LA venue. I don't have the name of it right now, but it's definitely happening. I think Lila Hart and Keanu will both be on that show. So gonna have a little LA trip in September. I think I have to get on the Whatever podcast. I think it has to happen. So stay tuned for more ticket links to come on my website, ChrissieMayr.com. Thank you so much. Without further ado, we have some ladies here who like to be on time, and I appreciate that here at the SimpCast. We have Stef, the Alter Nerd, and Gothix! Yay!
This is the only time I'm actually on time, usually because as a person of color, I am always late, so you're welcome.
Do you feel like as a person of color that if you are late, people will roll their eyes and go, oh, well, she's not on time, she's in time. I've heard that said.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing sometimes, but I just do as I want, and sometimes I'm late, sometimes I'm early, but for you, I'm early.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I never judge anybody for being late, because sometimes you just look at your face and you're like, I got to start all over. Sometimes your boobs aren't doing what they should. The shirt is all wrong. Sometimes you'll look at yourself and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing looks good. And then that's when maybe you need to do something with your hair. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm glad
feel
to
that.
see you, Gothix. What is anything new in your world? I liked in our pre-chat that you were talking about this concept of living outside of the internet, and I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's this, and I recommend everyone try it sometime. It's like you get out of the house and you leave your phone on silent and you try your best not to pick it up. and just, be involved and present with what's in front of you as opposed to a screen. I know it's very difficult, but it's possible to do.
But certainly you're live streaming it, you're
Nope.
posting, but what?
Nope, absolutely not. I actually have hobbies outside of the internet. Would you believe it? I went fishing yesterday. Not very good at it, but I tried.
Do you catch anything?
I did catch some fish. I don't know what type of fish they were, but I know they were in the water. So
That's really cool. I feel for just about everything there. You can get an app, take a photo of a thing. Well, again, this will involve your phone. Say like there's probably apps where, because I have one for plants where you can take a photo. It tells you exactly what kind of plant it is, like if it's a poisonous or whatever type of like leaf or flower or tree.
yeah, I wonder how legitimate that is.
I wonder if they have
actually accurate.
You take a picture of the fish and it's just like, that's actually a dog, you idiot. I love that. I was a little bit of fishing trauma from my youth because everyone in my family got to use a real fishing pole, but I had this, I don't know if it was Fisher Price, but it was like a plastic fishing pole with plastic fish just hanging off the end of it. And I was like, this is a joke. Like I'm not even, first I kept thinking, why do I keep catching the same 3 fish? And then I realized these are plastic and not real.
Damn. That's very traumatic. I just figured you're really good at it if you keep catching the same fish,
My parents were probably like, you can't be trusted with a fishing pole. And maybe they were onto something. But I love that. Gothix. Stef is here. Stef, the altar nerd. I had Stef on the show. Not this show. We did a one-on-one, I think maybe last week.
Yes.
And we just had a ball talking about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and are they getting divorced? Are they not? It really felt like picking up, like our discussion felt like you pick up a National Enquirer from like 1999 and just thumbing through it. It was a blast from the past. I needed it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that actually in the whole Megxit world, in all honesty. There's like tons of conspiracy theories out there. The most out there one is, was Megxit actually ever pregnant? Now that's a proper like National Enquirer kind of story.
Tons of celebrities have other people, other plebs carry their babies for them, and they'll wear like a moon bump or a fake baby belly. And then people have said this of Rihanna. People have said this of the Kardashians as well, although the Kardashians have been open about using surrogates.
The implication though of Megxit allegedly wearing a moon bump is that then Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet can't then be in the line of succession for the throne because they're not born.
They didn't come out of her body. They didn't come out of her bonus hole. They don't get to be.
Screw that bonus hole. Cowbag. It's a vagina. Let's get it right.
You have to come out of a royal bonus hole to be considered for the throne.
Yes. If not, then they're not part of the line of succession. They're out.
That is so interesting. Yeah. But there's no way anybody can really, we're not going to find that out, us regular people. It's just fun to talk about, I guess.
Very fun to talk about, yeah. And then there's even conspiracy theories that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet actually don't even exist. Oh, yeah. Like, you can really go down the rabbit hole when it comes to Megxit and National Enquirer. Like, all day long.
How can they not exist? They're just CGI? Are they dogs dressed up? Like, what? How
the theory goes that they're other people's children.
The Obama theory. Okay. Yeah. That they're another
in a nutshell.
Kids.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. God, you don't strike me as someone who cares for the royal family.
Listen, you lost me at bonus hole. I really don't care to know how dysfunctional other human beings are. Even like the whole, as you said, people having other humans carry their baby. It's like an accessory to me. It's like, oh, you want a dog, but no, you instead carry the dog and you don't let the dog walk on its feet. And the same thing, like, oh, you want a baby? It's fine. Just go rent out some woman's body and now you can make a baby or not real. It's bizarre. It's so weird.
It is weird. especially with the dog thing, it's like their feet are meant to be on the ground, walk, and don't have a dog unless you're comfortable with like the dog is going to at some point get on your bed. The dog, the little foot dirt crumbs are probably going to end up in your bed. Like, I mean, you can't be the cleanest of the clean and have a dog. I'm not saying you have to be like gross, but
Yeah.
they're on the ground almost all the time. So they're going to pick up stuff.
Right. But yeah, overall, like the celebrity stuff, the world is crazy as it is. I think with just us peasants, us normal people, and with them, it's like, okay, it's just extra steps, but everyone is pretty much just as psychotic, I guess.
It is, and I think the writer's strike and the actor's strike is it seems very different this time around. Like I guess in my adult life, this might be, who knows, what feels like my third actor's strike, where you're like, okay, this is happening, but the general sense is just regular people could not care less. Social media has completely, and we talked about this stuff on our conversation earlier, that social media has taken away all mystique, a lot of the glamour, a lot of the like rare sighting aspect from celebrities. That's why people used to watch the Emmys and all of the award shows. That's why people bought like the Inquirer, because there was no social media, there was no peek into the lives of celebrities, and now we're inundated with videos, TikToks, photos, everything's super duper filtered anyway. So it's like we're not even seeing the real people. Even, J-Lo at the gym flipping off the paparazzi. It's like her PR people probably called and had that arranged.
Yeah.
And there's so much overexposure that when they do strike and when they do have award shows, people are just like, good luck with that.
They took some of the glamour off of celebrities, because now I don't know what it is, but celebrities have this new thing where they like to clap back at their fans for criticism, and I'm like, you just can't do that, because like I used to work in customer service, and it was the customer is always right, even though I hate that. But that's literally it. It's like, if you want to make money, you're going to pretend that they're right. So if you're a celebrity and you got people criticizing you as an actress or whatever, and then you snap back at them. Like, I literally saw a video of Cardi B throwing a microphone at some person's head in the audience. And I'm like, how
do
you expect to maintain your image? I don't get it.
How is she allowed to do this? Like, don't these people have handlers? Don't they? And I've had a million like sort of desk jobs too. I've been a receptionist. I've been like, and you just learn, like, you're not going to have a job. Like, your customer, your boss, always right. Just cry when you get to the bathroom, or make an under your breath comment to a coworker, but like never show like your true emotions. And I guess the celebrities haven't really learned that lesson. Cardi B throws microphone at concert goer who tossed drink at her on stage. Okay, obviously tossing a drink at someone, not cool. But wouldn't this be the job of your bouncer to sort of deal with?
Yeah, and by the way, this is actually apparently the second time. The first time she did it by throwing a mic at the DJ. So.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, hold on. Who's singing then?
It's an iPod.
She's just lip syncing. Oh, but it ruins the mystique that she is singing all of this live in the moment. Oh, I can already tell by this D that this is at the Dre's nightclub in Vegas. On his hat. Why would you do that? Like, I understand getting upset, like if like a shoe hits your head, or a bottle or a cup hits your head, but like, okay, you're at one of these, I guess, daytime clubs. There's probably a pool nearby full of people drinking in their bathing suits. Her outfit is literally a bathing suit with a cover up. Like, you're going to get wet. You will be splashed with either drinks or seminal fluid. You're going to be damp at some point, Cardi. Okay. I'm not saying this is correct for the guy to throw the drink at her, but
Right.
throwing the mic is unprofesh.
The thing is, though, it's like, how do I put this? She shouldn't be attacked in the first place. She got attacked. Someone threw something at her. That is an attack. However, her response, she needs to be better than that. We are getting a lot of instances lately where, you know, it's not just Cardi B, but there have been others as well where people have thrown even worse things than a drink, you know, where, you know, some singers have got black eyes and stuff like that out of all of this. And so I think it should be a case where it's in, let's say, the singer's contract with the venue that if anyone does this, they're able to walk off stage there and then not come back. That's the end of the show then. And then that's it. I think that's the workaround, because the scary thing about this is that we're seeing more and more instances of the audience literally throwing things at these singers and attacking them.
Yeah.
And it's not on.
No, it's very rude. No one should have thrown anything at her. And I can understand, maybe it's hot, maybe it's like she's had a day, maybe she's had no patience that day and she just was like, what the fuck? But I think the cool way to handle it is, like, you know, get a visual to your security team and then point at the person and then be like, out. And then just, because this is one asshole and you have what, hundreds of people there to entertain. It's kind of the equivalent of like getting heckled at a comedy show, although, like, yeah, you're getting something tossed at you, but it's actually, like, I think it's less disruptive than a heckle. But what I'm trying to say is doing my job is a lot harder than being a singer. No, just kidding.
Have you had things thrown at you at shows?
I've not had anything thrown at me. I was at a show in Atlantic City where someone threw a sandwich at my friend who was on stage, which is one of my favorite things that's ever happened. Like, it didn't hurt her, but she was a Vikings fan, and I guess someone else in the audience was a fan of a different team, which I guess was enough to throw a meatball sub at her. And it was bad enough that we were doing stand-up by the porta potties and there was a banner behind us that said shitty jokes. And our job was just to do stand-up for people waiting in line to go to the bathroom at a beer festival in Atlantic City. So if I'm painting a picture of like the type of people that are at this event, of course, like, we're no better. We're there too.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing to do with that was they would just be, and everyone's ignoring you. Everyone is just thinking about, you know, whatever, their Mexican food that just kicked in, if they're doing a 1, 2, or 3. But my favorite thing to do is all these people were waiting for the porta potties. I'd be like, all right, once again, as an announcement, like, if you have AIDS, use these porta potties. If you're, you know, I would just keep saying, if you're gay, you want to use these porta potties. And people would be like, what? And they would be like, am I on the wrong line here? It's fun. But those hellish gigs are some of my all-time favorites. But I don't mean to not have sympathy for Cardi B, but I just think that it's super unprofessional, and you should kind of expect that to happen. Anything can happen when people are that close to you in a performance.
I mean, that's how I look at it. Like, I don't condone it, but, you know, it kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Now she has all this media. Not that I think the media coverage surrounding this is going to do anything. I mean, because but I don't think it's going to do anything. But now you got that added factor of it is permanently on the internet.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll interview Joe Biden again leading into the next election.
Please no.
I hope Joe Biden somehow it just doesn't happen. Like, from just an outsider looking in, no disrespect, he is asleep at the wheel, quite literally. Oh my goodness. How is he still standing? How is he, like,
at this point, it's like Joe Biden it's like, of course we have a sleeping, drugged out old man who doesn't know where he is. Of course he's still our president. Look, oh, they're not doing anything about Hunter Biden. We're just giving billions to Ukraine. Like, it's just like, I think they're just trying to run down the average person and get us to a place of total apathy. because there's just so much unaccounted for corruption and bullshit that it's like you don't even know where to start. Like we're at the point where we've gotten used to Biden falling asleep, falling asleep mid-sentence with another president, falling upstairs. It's like it's become fun for us, which is so sad.
But Chrissy, the White House must be one of the heaviest guarded, most filmed inside kind of building ever. And they're turning around and saying, we can't figure out who left that white powder at the White House. I'm like, BS, come on. And then this whole sweetheart deal with Hunter Biden, which now was absolutely like turned on its tits there. Like, that shocked me, actually.
I'm going to use that phrase.
Never heard of that.
Its
okay, go for it.
Yeah, that means it went south.
Yeah.
Usually turning on my tits means something fun is about to happen. But I guess it's different in the UK.
Yeah, because we also say like, you're getting on me tits. Which means getting on me nerves.
Getting on me tits.
You're getting on me tits. You're getting on me nerves. Yeah.
You're getting on me tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can find God, there's so many articles about Hunter. I'm trying to find an article that doesn't feature a picture of him shirtless, but it's very difficult.
Why, you don't want to look at that?
Yeah, it's like 2:30 in the morning for me. No thanks.
It's either the confidence he has in his body or the amount of drugs he's on. Like Hunter, like he takes pictures like he thinks he looks good. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah, I wouldn't hit that.
He's a messy boy. No, I wouldn't either.
No thanks.
Oh my God. Let's see. Yeah, of course he should be held accountable. It's clear he broke the law. Yeah, nothing's going to happen. It's hard for me to get worked up about something happening. I guess they're mostly want to just cover it up because they don't want to get Biden.
Of course they're going to cover it up.
To a place where they have to impeach him. Yeah.
He's going to plead guilty, I think, to a lesser misdemeanor, and it's all just going to be shrugged under the carpet and away you go.
Oh my God. There's a picture
you guys can expect from it.
There's a picture of this New York Post article of him. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm not going to show it just to be careful, but he's naked and he's holding a gun next to him. Who takes pictures like this? Like maybe he's like, let me put the gun next to my junk for scale.
A dude on illicit substances that clearly has his mind altered.
I forget about drugs. I don't really do them, so I forget that they're a thing that can make you act way, way differently. Like, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. With a picture of Hunter Biden, with him, well, maybe not naked, not with the kids, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
With a less than flattering photo that's kid appropriate of Hunter Biden, if there is such one, I don't know.
Let's see if we can find something lighthearted to talk about. There is a lot of fun. Okay. I don't often go into BuzzFeed for good reason. I usually stick to the standards of Daily Mail and the New York Post. But I think this was really interesting and kind of like and maybe I do need to like have more BuzzFeed articles and more kind of like typical like left-wing I guess female news sources like BuzzFeed, because it gives you an interesting peek into the minds of people who don't think as you do. So this was interesting. Women are sharing the ugly truths they struggled to come to terms with in therapy, and these are incredibly eye-opening. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to therapy. It should definitely be a temporary thing. The therapist will always find reasons for you to like come in and work on stuff. If you do go to therapy, have a specific topic or purpose or like one problem, and then when you feel like you've worked on that, like bail, because you'll just be like these people that go to therapy forever, and then your therapist is just always part of your life. And I just don't think that's
I agree with that.
Healthy. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we have an NHS system where we don't have to pay for therapy. So
what?
We don't have to pay for doctors. When we go to hospital, we don't have a bill afterwards because we pay through our taxes. for our NHS system. Something similar to what Bernie Sanders was, I think, proposing for his Medicare for All back in
See,
the
do you
day.
feel like since it's okay, like a certain amount of your taxes go into paying for this shit, do you feel like, well, I guess I better go to therapy because I'm paying for it
No.
anyway? Almost like
Nope.
I would feel like, let me get as
and
much
we
help
don't,
as I can get.
and it has to be signed off by a doctor to be referred to therapy. So it's not like I can go to the NHS and say, right, I want to see a therapist. No, I've got to see a doctor first for them to assess and decide whether or not I'm to see a therapist or not.
Dang.
And even then, once you then go and see a therapist, it's not like a never-ending cycle. Usually you'll see a therapist for like 6 to 8 weeks, and then you're fine, and then you kind of toddle off. It's not never-ending.
Toddle.
Because it's not that kind of economy that we've got here with our health system.
I just can't get over that. I want more of my money. I don't want to pay more taxes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But don't you pay like I don't know, health deductibles or something like that for like your health insurance?
Yeah, sure. Like the way that I look at it is like if you're and I can only speak for myself, but like I budget so I don't blow my money on things that I don't need. So if in the event I have to go to the doctor and I'm expected to pay a big deductible, it won't be that big of a deal because it's like, well, I've been saving my money so far, so I should be able to pay for this.
Yeah.
That sounds too adult, Gothix. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, or a white supremacist talking point, I've been told.
Yes, budgeting is white supremacy. Okay, going to therapy can be. It was so weird when I got fired from my job for not taking the vax in December of 21, and I didn't have health insurance for like almost 2 straight years, and I was loving it because I just loved how much money I was saving. I'm just like, yeah, I just won't go to the doctor. I'll be okay. Okay, so here are some raw accounts of people identifying and acknowledging their personal struggles. Okay, and I wonder what's wrong with people. You know what I mean? It's an interesting peek. This one woman says, I'm intimidated by anyone who I feel like has their life together. So I only make friends with people who I feel like have messed up their lives like mine. There have been so many times when I enjoy someone's company and can see us being friends until they say something that intimidates me. Something as small as them saying, I woke up to run this morning. Basically, my subconscious says I could never do that. She must have her life together, and there's no reason she would want to be around someone as screwed up as me. I mean, I guess it takes a lot of self-awareness to admit something like this, and that's what therapy is for. But this reminds me so much of like, oh, working out is racist. Working out is an extremist activity. Like getting mad at someone because they're running because they got up to run. Okay. Number 2, I'm not in charge of other people's feelings, even when they feel bad because of my actions. For example, my dad being disappointed that I'm not pursuing higher education, or my mom being sad because I won't let her track me anymore. I had a therapy appointment today and cried because of this instead of doing what everyone around me wants me to do. Even if it hurts them, I have to do what I want and find happiness. You know, I would need to know how old this person is. That would help.
Why are they going to therapy?
Right. And what's your reason for going in?
Yeah, but just this alone, like you're doing what's making you happy, doing what you want to do rather than what other people are expecting you to do. Why are you going to therapy about that?
Right. And also it's like I didn't go to college like for me. I went because my parents were like, you have to go. And this is how you're gonna be able to get a job. So again, like, yeah, I would need to know this person's age. Okay, even though there will be friends and family around, I'm still an individual. I need to start accepting that being alone is good. Being alone doesn't need to feel lonely. Again, like, okay, maybe this was a bad idea to talk about this article because I'm not getting enough information. And my parents, mostly my mother, we are emotionally mature and abusive. It was so normalized in my childhood. I knew they weren't great parents. Oh, I have a lot of trauma. Okay. I have codependency. Trauma has affected the way I view people's tones of voice and facial expressions. This has caused me to be hyper aware of body language it can be a good and bad thing depending on how you look at it. See, this is I wonder if sometimes therapy, and sometimes I'll meet people that are like very anti-therapy because they're like, "Oh, it actually makes the problem worse. You're focusing on it, you're obsessing about something, and it's always brought to the surface instead of like, sort of getting over it."
Mm.
Sometimes therapy, I suppose it depends on the therapist. And if the therapist isn't truly listening and processing what the patient is saying, then they could actually create more problems in that person's mind. So I'm going to be quite facetious here with my example, but let's say, person's turning around and saying, "Oh, I've got a problem with my dad and he's done this and he's done that and he's done this," then the therapist could turn around and then create a problem where there isn't in regards to mum.
Right.
Like creating problems that aren't actually necessarily there. But
Yeah.
through that maybe unintended manipulation creates that problem in that person's mind thinking that it's
Yeah.
real.
I remember at one point
Can
I was
be
seeing
Yeah.
my therapist for like a few years because I started to go when my mom was diagnosed with brain cancer, and I was like, okay, this is terminal. This is gonna be bad. And I also went because I was like, not a great communicator, and my parents didn't communicate the best with one another and with us growing up. So I was feeling like stagnation in my relationship, and I was like, okay. And at one point, like she was like trying to convince me to break up with Frank, and then I ended up learning like, no, I just need to be better at communicating my wants and not expect everybody to read my mind. And it's like you really just can't. I don't know, maybe it was just that one therapist, but and then she ended up pissing me
That's the thing is,
off.
it's like as you said, it depends on the therapist, and different therapists come with their own different baggage and bias, and so like you're it's really like you don't know what you're gonna get, and at the end of the day, you're still putting your trust in another human, which would be nice to be like, okay, I'm gonna get some sound advice from this person, but like even telling you to break up, I'm like that doesn't sound correct to me.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I need here. Okay, I don't know why that made me think of her. Therapy sometimes it's just too much wallowing, you gotta sometimes you gotta mix it up. This person said, I don't do nice things for others because I'm a nice person, but I do it in a self-serving manner to keep myself safe. Growing up, I worked tirelessly doing nice things for my alcoholic mother so she wouldn't hurt me. And now as an adult, I compulsively do nice things for others so I won't be rejected by them. Oh, okay. This can be part of like a female people-pleasing thing. And just, you had an alcoholic mom. You're like, let's just keep everybody on my good side or their good side. All right. Okay, this article's depressing me. Next.
Well then.
Oh gosh. All right. This is something a little bit more upbeat. A man spent an ungodly amount of money. I have to refresh this so that video plays. A man spent $14,000 to transform himself into a collie. Steps out for his first ever walk in public.
Okay.
Sorry, when you say a collie, do you mean like a dog? Collie dog?
I do mean like a dog.
Whoa.
Yes. Okay, let me get this viral clip. Okay. Oh my goodness. You guys haven't seen this yet? Okay, perfect. This will be your
Oh,
first time. I'm going to play the clip and then we will learn about this
so many
man.
questions.
Wow. Okay. This is from the I Want to Be an Animal YouTube page. Oh my God. Where is this? My name is Toko. I became a collie, fulfilling a dream I had since I was a little child. I guess I can mute this. There's a man in there. I don't know how much of this is. No, he's just in a costume. These aren't like his real hands. And I don't know if this woman is his girlfriend, wife, handler. Okay, this looks somewhere Asian because the map was Asian. Look at this dog. It's like, what the fuck is this? Oh my God. The dog is like, that's not right. That's not a dog. If the person you were with, see, dogs don't wave like that. There's a woman hiding behind the bench. If your partner suddenly decided this is what they wanted
I'm
to do with
munching.
their life, how would you react?
Is this a okay?
A joke?
Is this a cosplay? Is this a 24-hour lifestyle?
This is an absolute piss take. I mean, I know about people identifying as other things, don't get me wrong, but
Is this a sexual thing?
Oh my
well,
God.
we all know about doggy style.
And look, it's in a freaking.
I'm not averse to a bit of doggy style. I'll tell you that right now. Just not in the real freaking bonus hole. That is an exit hole only. We are done with that shit. I'm telling
He's
you.
on a dolly. He can't even do his own.
And how
walking.
how tall is he? Like, how is he walking? Is he? I'm so confused.
This is lazy.
I mean, physically, that's got to take its toll in terms of the way that he is positioned is not normal for an actual human body, and that's going to potentially cause problems in the future when it comes to his bones. You know, you could be looking at osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, like the bones for a human in terms of how he is positioned are in a natural state for a human body. It's just not. It's not a thing.
Yeah, it is important to know how many hours a day he's doing this for. The dog days are just beginning for this man. Yes, it's Japanese. A Japanese native has transformed himself into a canine after forking out more than $14,000 for a custom-made collie costume. The private citizen, who goes only by Toko online, says the unusual garment has helped actualize his dream of becoming an animal. Footage shared to Toko's YouTube channel, where he boasts more than 32,000 subscribers, shows him clad in the costume as he frolics on the lawn, rolls on the floor, and plays fetch. Toko has even uploaded a video of himself venturing out in public as a dog for the very first time. Bystanders appear to be in awe of the man's doggy debut as he paraded down a busy street in the viral clip, which has 1.7 million views. It's interesting because it's not just like you have a dog costume on, like this thing covers his whole face. So I wonder if it's just more than, oh, I like pretending to be a dog. Like
It
this
looks
is
like-
like I'm opting out of life. Like I'm just not even a person anymore.
It just, first of all, it looks like a taxidermy dog.
It does.
Yeah, but why? I don't. Okay.
It looks normal when he's sitting like this.
It's like furries 2.0. Like, this is the advanced version of furries, I feel like.
It was created by Zeppet. It took 40 days to create. Toko completed the costume with a harness strapped around his furry abdomen, but admitted he was nervous and scared of venturing out in public. Why? Your whole face is covered and no one knows who you are. Do you remember your dreams when you were little? You want to be a hero or a wizard, he wrote in the clip, describing his life dog dream as unrealistic. I remember writing, oh, is this him? Is this a different person, like a wolf person? I remember writing in my grade school graduation book that I wanted to be a dog and walk outside. I mean, he's not setting the bar very high. As an introduction to his unusual hobby, Toko answered a series of questions in a video posted last year, admitting he has always had a vague dream of becoming an animal. When I fulfilled that dream, this is how it turned out. I don't know. I feel like this is not a very productive way to live your life. Like, if you are fascinated with what it's like to be an animal, it's like, I don't know, write a children's book or work at a zoo or, I don't know, help animals.
I think this dude needs to see a therapist.
Yeah. Because who does this help? Oh, God. Oh, you could do paw.
Tell you something, if that was a real dog, I'd be like, he's overweight. He needs to be on a diet right now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. He conceals his unusual proclivities from most of his family and friends. Gee, I wonder why. I rarely tell my friends because I'm afraid they will think I'm weird. My friends and family seem very surprised to learn I became an animal. You have not become an animal. You just bought a costume.
Now, he's identifying as an animal.
Oh, right.
Miss me with that BS. Sorry. No.
His pronouns are bark and bark self. Okay, wow. The Japanese man said last year that most of his colleagues are unaware he dresses as a dog outside of work. Oh, so this guy has a job. Okay. All right.
Well, how does he pay for that 13 grand suit?
True. Okay, he doesn't want to see his real they don't want people to see his real face. That I'm fine with. Hold the phone. Let me see this other video.
I mean, the thing is, if this is a kink of his, fair enough. Have fun. Have at it. Make sure you don't make too much of a mess inside that costume, because then that would probably be very awkward. However, if this is a whole like identity thing of him identifying as a different freaking species, then I think we got problems.
Yeah, this is just like, you know what? It's hard to be a person. You're like, I'm just gonna opt out. Fuck it. I'm just gonna be a dog, like where virtually nothing is expected of me. In fact, it's like kind of, is it weird to say that this is a little bit selfish? Because it's like you clearly want people to interact with you like you're a dog. Like you need someone to walk you, you need someone to throw a ball at you, you need people to pay attention to you like you're a dog. You know what I mean? I wonder how much of this is like he needs others to see him as a dog versus he just likes pretending to act like one. Is this a sexual kink? Why did you become a dog?
I think if it was a sexual kink, there'd be like another doggy involved, as in a human doggy. Not, yeah, we're not going there. But
this is
if there was like another person dressed as a doggy, I think then it would probably be a kink.
Oh God!
For him to do it by himself, though, would that constitute as a kink? I don't know.
Okay, I thought this was gonna be way more interesting. It's like, where does he put his legs? Is he walking around on his knees, or is he walking around on his feet and his knees are crumpled up
Looks like his knees. I don't know.
I want to see a video of him getting into it. I wish there were little like cameras in the dog's eyes, like. Oh gosh. Aren't the Asian countries that like a lot of the ones that have trouble meeting women? I've been seeing that.
I mean, I see that here in America, so I'm not too sure. We're not at the stage of identifying as dogs, but I mean, maybe I'm not sure.
We've got our issues in UK too, Gothix.
Yeah. I know they're doing it for cats. People identifying as cats, so I guess that's stage one.
It's probably hot in there. He's probably just hot boxing himself. Not hot boxing, Dutch ovening himself for hours on end. You know, I'm sure that costume didn't plan for like farts or humidity or like, I doubt there's a fan blowing under there. I didn't see any air holes.
Yeah.
I mean, how does he take a pee of a shiz? Like, I didn't see any holes for that.
Imagine he just sticks his regular human dick like out through the costume and lifts his leg up and be like, "What?"
Oh no!
Oh,
I wonder then if that actually constitutes as like indecent exposure or not. Because if he identifies as a dog, and dogs do that,
right?
Then does it classify as indecent exposure if he argues no, I identify as a dog?
What
so you
cop
must respect my identity and my choice?
What cop is going to arrest him? Like, because then you're in the whole you can't fuck with any trans person for any reason realm.
Chrissy, cops are stupid.
Transspecial, yeah.
Oh, they'd arrest him.
I have more questions than answers. Thank you, Berserker, for becoming a new member. Slaglust, what's the super chat goal for you to all do Naked Snake tonight? Okay, Camelot does something called Naked Snake, I think, and he gets to a certain number and he takes his shirt off and they drink some sort of egg mixture. Okay, that is not this show. We are refined ladies who keep our shirts on. Okay. If you want to see titties, go to OnlyFans and support my friends over there, I guess. David Lowe, what did the Zen master say to the hot dog vendor? Make me one with everything. Oh, that's cute. That's actually funny. That's a great hot dog joke. Ellen Reese, Chrissy should give Roseanne Barr a bell to get her on as well. It should be so easy. Glad to see some awesome ladies on your show. I love Roseanne. I was just trying to figure out where she's based in, because I saw Blair White and her did an episode together of Roseanne's podcast. I wonder if she's out in Texas. Love Roseanne. She's just the sassy based grandma energy that we need in our lives right now. Mark of Reality, royal bonus hole. Yes. Meghan Markle has a royal bonus hole. MK Solid.
And it's her gob. Fuel.
If all else
Wondering.
fails, as soon as Meghan starts to age, it's all over. Harry will find someone younger. It's not going to last for that reason alone. Really? Not because she's manipulative and has worked to turn him against his whole family.
The way it's going to go down is, as far as I'm concerned, once Meghan thinks that she can bring in the big bucks on her own and doesn't have to rely on being with Harry to get the deals in, that's when she's going to divorce him.
Oof. Brutal.
Yeah.
This is just more ginger. This is ginger side. It's happening.
Well, you can keep him then in America, because we've got enough gingers in the UK. That is absolutely fine. We will do our bit in the UK to help with the ginger population in America. You can keep him.
Do you guys really have a lot of gingers?
I don't know.
It's
I don't have a clue. We just don't want him back.
I mean, I'm a, as everyone knows, a fake ginger. This is my real hair colors, and here it's like a dark blonde. But a ginger is just a bunch of recessive genes, is it not? I'm not a biologist. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fixing our banner so our Twitter handles can scroll below us. Stef the Alter Nerd. Should have done that before. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, my Twitter handle is just Stef Alternerd, not the in. It's just because Twitter doesn't allow me to put in the full lot.
Stef Alternerd.
Yeah.
I really like how you say Twitter. Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, apparently I have no clue of what T's are.
I love it.
I love it.
I don't like that it's called X. I don't like seeing the black logo. I don't like seeing like on my tabs, I keep thinking it's a porn site, and I'm like, what? Yeah! Was I looking at porn? Like, why? I don't like the black. I don't like the X. It's completely different. Why would they get rid of the whole Twitter vibe? And I think it's part of Elon's long-term plan is to turn Twitter into partially like a financial website as well. But he just wants to use all the people that are already a part of it. So I was like, oh, I don't really love how that sounds. Let me see if I can find because I was in an interview with Zuby that Elon Musk was talking about this. His grand plans for Twitter.
Twitter.
I'm
I'm
gonna put it.
Yeah, I'm
up.
always gonna call it Twitter. It's XBS. I'm like, no, I'm not calling it X. Elon Musk. Sorry,
online for a long time. Tell me the story.
Years.
Yeah, tell me the story about X.com.
Well, I mean, way back in the day, the idea was for X or X.com to be an all-encompassing financial services company, or thought kind of in like a infinite information theory way to be the most efficient database for the information that is money. But the way that money currently works is, from a practical standpoint, it's still mostly run on mainframes. That's still a thing for banks. It's mostly written in COBOL. It's still mostly batch processing. So actually, the financial system is very slow. It's not secure. You've got all these heterogeneous, complex databases. So if you have a real-time homogeneous database that is just like fundamentally more efficient and doesn't have all the expenses of bank buildings all over the place and bank branches and ATMs, which are increasingly.
I feel like Elon Musk needs a translator. Like he needs somebody sitting next to him and like putting this into layman's terms. Cause I'm already just like, what?
Kind of redundant. It can operate way more efficiently. And so, essentially, if done right, the X would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, I don't know, maybe half of the global financial system.
Wow.
Or some.
So he wants to get into like the digital currency business. Is that what he's saying?
But what? No. The scary thing that he said there is he wants to be like half of the financial business.
Yeah,
it's
like
pretty crazy.
That
remember-
is scary.
I remember seeing a clip of him. This was a few years ago, talking about how he wanted to create an alternative to what they have in China with WhatsApp, and how like WhatsApp you can do a bunch of stuff on there, and so he wanted to create something similar, but he was talking about how he needed a platform that already had a massive user base. So I think that's why he acquired it. But I mean, praising the Chinese government for anything and then trying to model something after them, I'm not particularly fond of that. So with Elon, I'm kind of like, I'm not too sure how I feel about him. I feel like he, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to be all in. I've always been sort of like tentatively optimistic about him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was WeChat, not WhatsApp. I'm sorry, misspoke.
Okay,
I drank the Kool-Aid when he first took over Twitter. It then took the Eliza Blue situation that then woke me up to this whole notion of, oh no, he's just a BS artist at this point. Like that then made me completely like not trust him at all.
Right, and he has a really good understanding of social media, and he's done a very good job of making himself look positively in social media. Like you point to the average person, be like, "Oh yeah, I love Elon. He's so cool. Like he fixed Twitter. It's better now." Like I think overall, if you were going to ask someone who's not super informed, I think they would be mostly positive on Elon, unless they were like very political. I think a lot of the lefties have never really liked him. Let's see what else he says.
Big number. I'm not sure what the number is, but pretty big. So it would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution. But like I said, not really in the way that people are used to thinking about banks.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most efficient database for the thing that is money. I said like the least amount of fraud. Everything's real time. And if it involves money in any way, it can be dealt with seamlessly on one location. And then in addition, you've got the sort of social media element, which is also information. It's people sharing information of various kinds, whether it's text, video, pictures, voice.
It just sounds like he's like, it's going to be everything. It's the everything website.
And so, so both money and what we call social media are really information exchange. And I think
but information exchange
to make a product that is really quite compelling.
Yeah. And how does this not tie into social credit score and making it easier to debank people?
Sorry, Chrissie. There was a delay.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
I'm just saying, like, it is scary because this just seems like a perfect storm to debank somebody. If social media is literally in the same place as your money. Ugh.
Yeah.
The scary thing about all of this is that it's an information exchange between us and Elon. Elon gets all that information, not only about our socials, but of our monetary kind of practices as well, and habits and what we're doing with our money. That is too much information for one company to have.
Yeah.
But it should all be segmented as it is right now. So you've got banks in the financial sector that deal with the money and everything else. You've got social media that deals with the information of social media. Keep them separate. He wants to combine the two. That is scary.
Yeah. Elon, like, he won a lot of people over at first, like, oh, free speech, free speech. I'm championing free speech. It's like, because I need to collect that information for my ex.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the rest of that.
Filing like combines all these things, simplifies people's lives, is more, cost efficient for the average person.
Mhm.
So, you don't have a minimum number of fees and whatnot. So, so I think there's just a lot of potential to create some, like the ultimate app or system, website, whatever.
I hear that. And so would the long-term goal be for Twitter to evolve into X over time, so it would just be fully integrated?
Yeah, I mean, I said at the time of the acquisition, like I could do this independently and create it from scratch, or what I thought was acquiring Twitter would probably accelerate progress by 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years.
Imagine interviewing Elon Musk. I would be shitting my pants. I think I would end up just asking him like about like what does he do for fun, and I would not try to like talk about anything that's out of my depth, which is most things. So I would just be like, so what do you like on your pizza, Elon?
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of get this impression because like I've watched a bunch of videos of him, and he has expressed concern about, like, for example, AI technology and what it could potentially be used for. And he's expressed how we got to slow down using this. So at least I can respect that. And it almost, I get this impression that maybe with everything going on in the world, he recognizes that this is going to happen anyway. And maybe this is something that he can have a hand in, because otherwise someone else is going to have a hand in it. I don't know.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think that he is like a talking head per se. I think it's just accepting the where society's going, and someone's going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it says here Elon Musk has rebranded Twitter to X as part of his plan to create an everything app like China's WeChat. But I don't have a WeChat. He's been hinting about his plans for a WeChat app publicly and privately over the years. He's also redirected the domain x.com to twitter.com, and and informed employees by email that Twitter would become X. That's already happened. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. I love the nostalgia of Twitter. I love the blue bird. I just got used to it.
I hate it.
You hate it? You hate Twitter?
I hate it. I really do.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Are there any apps like wait, a bloody northerner on SimpCast? Disgusting. Great to see Gothix here too. Thanks, Dan Halen.
Hey up, I'm a proud bloody northerner. How about that, mate?
Yeah, Dan. Russell Hall, the fan, was just trying to help Cardi keep it WAP.
Gross.
That's true. Plus ice cubes. Russell Hall, who in Parliament is any better than Joe Biden?
Everyone else, because they're not literally falling up or downstairs or collapsing or forgetting that the guy upstairs is otherwise known for many as God, or doesn't forget their previous employer, i.e. Obama. Like, yeah, absolutely everyone else.
Okay, well, big deal. Your people can go upstairs. Good for you. Wow.
I'll tell you something though. When Joe Biden visited King Charles, the amount of things he did that just absolutely rubbed us all the wrong way.
Oh, what did he do?
So he did exactly what the President Trump did back in the day, which is walk in front of King Charles as he was inspecting the guard rather than behind.
Oh.
But you didn't hear much about that, did you? No, because it was Biden rather than Trump. So, you know, the media there not keeping the same energy. The other things that he did. So I'll give you another example. I know this sounds really, really probably a little bit strange to you guys, but he touched the king, like on his back. Like, you know, like,
look, yep, he's walking in front. There he is.
There you go. He touched like the back of King Charles as if like they were mates, and it's like, you know, let's go. It's like, no, you don't do that, you don't do that, you don't do that. No, there's a
Really?
culture with how you deal with the royals and how the public in the UK expect you to deal with the royals, especially the king. And oh my goodness, it was just like, it just cringed a lot of us. There you go. That. Oh no,
Not allowed. Not allowed.
no.
Maybe he needed him for balance, Steph. Maybe he was like, I'm gonna fall. I have to do this.
There's a shiz ton of guards that would have helped him with that. King Charles, hell no. No, it was just a flagrant disrespect of our king and our royal culture. But again, you didn't hear that in the media when President Trump did it. Of course, you heard it in the media. And two, right, again, it was a disrespect on our culture, our royal culture, and our sovereign. Here, Biden is doing exactly the same thing. And mainstream media, it's all crickets. It's disgusting.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Biden at one point put his hand on the King Charles's back, which was described as a wonderful symbol of warmth and affection by a royal source who spoke to CNN, denying that this action by the president broke protocol. Initiating physical contact with the monarch is generally not seen as tradition in the UK. And then they say that he's entirely comfortable with that kind of contact. What a wonderful symbol. Maybe they're just trying to like make him look good.
Yeah. It's all about maintaining the special relationship between the UK and America. I'm telling you right now, that is breaking royal protocol like no one's business. Because our sovereign, the king, is also seen as like a religious figure in a way, because he is head of the Church of England. And so you let's put it this way. You don't initiate, let's say, a handshake with the king. The king initiates the handshake with you. He invites you to touch his hand to handshake. That's when you can do it, but you can't do it the other way around. It's like things like that.
And I'm sure he has, Biden has so many handlers telling him all these things, and he just
forgets them.
Forgets.
Because, sorry, I'm not a doctor or all, but dude's got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and they're like, we're both 100 years old. Oh my God. It's hard. It's hard to look at. When is he gonna? How much more of Biden is there gonna be? Let's see. It's 2023. When do we vote? Next November. All right, we're almost there.
Oh, no.
It'll be here before you know it. Andrew Robb, thanks for becoming a member. Glitch, Steph, Yam Yam or Yorkie? Can't quite pin your accent.
Yorkie.
What's a Yam Yam?
Don't know, but Yorkie is Yorkshire, so there you go.
I didn't know if these were like British snacks or something.
Yam Yam.
Yorkie is actually a British snack. A Yorkie is a chocolate bar.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like a part of a dog.
But it is a dog as well, and we can be called Yorkies technically, I suppose, from Yorkshire, but yeah.
That's kind of cute. James Sharp, because NHS pays the therapist has no incentive to keep someone in therapy longer than needed. However, they also have no incentive to give a damn if they do a good job either. Interesting. Maybe just talk about it with your friends until they're sick of your shit. Push-ups. North England is best England. Everyone's polite. Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from north of England, yeah.
I need to draw a map.
I ain't a southern posh twat, that's for sure.
Thank you, Push-ups. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a motorcycle. Why? Because you wanted to be ridden? Wait, that's gross. Voice of the people. Yes, red hair and green eyes are very recessive genes. Remind me to pick on Choco for that, Gothix.
Okay.
Who's Choco?
It's Chaco.
Oh, Chaco.
It's my moderator.
Oh, okay. Is he a recessive gene person?
Well, it's a she. As far as the person that super chatted, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had like a ginger mod. Dave Chandler, Elon is still Econut. Can I not pronounce this word? Econut liberal. Just because the woke are calling him right wing doesn't make him right wing. I don't trust anybody. West Britannica. Stef speaks Ned Starkish.
Who's Ned Starkish?
I don't know. Maybe it's another YouTube person with a similar accent. Sean Green. I love Anna, that Star Wars girl. Buy her cosplay. Yes, I think she has a bikini calendar on sale right now. And she looks amazing. Definitely get it. Your penis will thank you. Woodsman. Americans don't care about royal protocol. Yeah. I mean, like with Trump, yeah, of course they were going to do anything to make him look as bad as possible in the media. Because I don't even remember hearing about this. Like Biden, I don't even really remember hearing like he went to visit King Charles, let alone hand on the back and walking in front of him. I don't know. Okay, you guys are upset that I didn't know who Ned Stark was. Oh, Game of Thrones. Okay.
Oh, I tried watching that. I only have like one line that I don't cross when it comes to watching films and TV series. If there's anything that's got any sexual violence in, I can't watch it. It's just not going to happen. And so my friend got me like, she lent me her box set, I think for like seasons like 1 to 6 at the time. She was like, oh, you'll like it, you'll like it, you'll like it. Couldn't even get past the first episode. I don't even know the characters. They were on this distant far land on a balcony. There was a lass and a lad. It seemed like they were brother and sister. And then the brother took off for like a top and started to feel, and I'm like, no, we're done. Bye. So yeah, never seen a full episode of Game of Thrones, and I'm absolutely Gucci with that.
I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones either. It just got away from me, and then I was like, this is too much. It's too far gone. There's too much for me to even start.
I'm so excited right now because you are like the first people I have met that have not watched Game of Thrones. It's like I am not alone in this world now.
And God, you haven't either?
No, I haven't. There's so many, but also I haven't watched a lot of long series like Star Wars and Star Trek. I haven't watched those either. Yeah,
I haven't really seen much of Star Trek at all, and only got into Star Wars. Well, I was introduced to them through boyfriends, but then like came to like it. But yeah, never really got into Star Trek. I'm just like, I feel like I'm so behind on the things I want to watch and read that I don't have time for things that are just so hyped up by everybody else. It's like, you have to. But that's what people said about Righteous Gemstones, and that's actually a genuinely hilarious show.
So I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Righteous Gemstones. It started off strong, and now it's just like, I don't even know. I feel like the writers, they're just like slamming on their keyboard, and it feels like it's accelerating so much. But like, I do like the show. Aside from that, I think my favorite series that I used to watch was Breaking Bad and Dexter. Those I can keep rewatching them.
Can you watch past the Trinity Killer season though?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was a fan.
Whoa.
This was on Dexter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After Trinity Killer season, I stopped then there.
Really?
Yeah, I can't stand the rest of it.
Oh wow.
It loses its way at that point. I've seen it, of course, but no, not again. I've been there, done that. That's fine.
Was it just too like violent?
No, it was just too stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, some people didn't like it. I mean, I would also say it seems like they were trying to finish up the show as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I wonder if what's going on with Righteous Gemstones is because I really enjoyed like all the other episodes, but it does feel like with this season they're like, what else do we do?
Doesn't it feel like it just feels messy?
Yeah, it feels a little chaotic. Whereas I feel like the pacing was a bit better and measured. God, is this the third season now? Or second?
I think it's the second. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We have to talk about Kate Beckinsale. She is 50 and fabulous. Kate Beckinsale celebrates 50th birthday in Playboy bunny suit. I don't know. She must have very good PR people. And they were like, look, you're going to date Pete Davidson. You're going to bang him a couple times. It'll keep your name in the news. And then you're going to turn 50. And we'll also talk about that as well. age is just a number, but especially for Kate Beckinsale, just a few days after her 50th birthday, Beckinsale posed in Playboy bunny costume for her followers on social media this weekend, complete with a pair of sky-high heels. Okay, let's see. She shared all these photos with her two friends, latex designer Nina Kate and Gabs Morpeth, who are wearing bunny outfits as well. What are they, just wearing bunny outfits in their apartment? Are they just dressing up to stay in? That's kind of cute, but a little sad. Rip. They're not really going anywhere. Oh my God. I've yet to get one of these balloon displays. Like, this is classic girl. Like, I don't know, anytime someone's at like a bridal shower or a baby shower, they a basic girl loves these balloon collages. I don't know what they're called. It's like do you know what I'm talking about? Like, this is very much an Instagram staple, this balloon situation. Okay, happy bunny birthday, blah blah blah. The model set up a model. I'll tell you what Beckinsale wrote in the caption of the post: "Getting old is effing great. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the most magical day full of joy and love and dear friends." Okay, people have accused her of getting plastic surgery. She clapped back, Gothix. She's a celebrity that likes to clap back.
Stop it.
She's clapping. I mean, maybe she didn't get plastic surgery, but you could get other things put in your face.
It's just, I don't know. People are freaking weird. I don't understand.
Yes, why do we need to see your leg up like this? Like, what are you?
It's attention. All attention.
Yes, it's like, come see my partially exposed crotch kind of situation going on.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you shave, honey, it's all gooch.
She's trying to show us her covered bonus hole. The accusations came after she appeared at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival. No threads, no thread lift, no Botox, no laser, no nose job, no filler. Well, good for you. She gets facials with platelet-rich plasma to boost collagen and microcurrent, other expensive shit. Okay. I mean, she's not doing hard labor. She's not like baking in the sun. She can afford a really nice skincare regimen. It's not so crazy for you to reach 50 years old and like still look pretty good. Especially though as a celebrity, when you can get all this stuff done to you. Oh, she lived in a really big house. My goodness, this was a pointless article.
She's basically 50 and fit. Fair enough.
50. She's
good
50
for her.
And fabulous.
And she hasn't had any plastic surgery. That's probably one thing that a PR team wanted to make sure was strenuously stressed within this article. Like, there was quite a few paragraphs that were dedicated to, no, she doesn't do plastic surgery. She hasn't had Botox, blah, blah, blah. But this is what she's had instead.
Right. It's never the case that someone is not doing anything at all. Like you're doing some kind of facial, you're putting something on your face, okay? You're beating it with a stick. You've downloaded a face yoga app. You've done something. All right. I don't know. I feel like I get sucked into these articles sometimes. Russell Hall, you don't need to watch all of Game of Thrones. Just skip to the ending. Wouldn't that be ruined then?
And everyone
the ending shiz anyway. Whoever took the throne in the end, well, a lot of people were not happy.
Chrissie is 03. Hey! Jacob Rotten. Kate Beckinsale is 50 and hot. Don't tell Pearl. Lol. People are really enjoying dunking on Pearl's looks, and I can't decide if they're right to. I mean, Pearl does spend a lot of time dunking on other people's looks, but her brand is not necessarily hinging on her own looks. Like what she does is just spicy takes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's from my angle. This is just my perspective. It seems like when people come at me and they look at my channel, they're like, "You're a grifter, you're this, you're that, you're this," right? It's like it would be a little bit weird for me to then, in the reverse, do the same thing towards these other people. You know what I mean? It's almost like
Okay.
there's like a pile on, and
Yeah.
and I just don't see the point, like making fun of her looks, even though she may have made fun of other people's looks. It's like, all right, well, you're doing exactly what she's doing, so you both suck. Like, I don't get it.
I mean, she looks how she looks. She's not somebody who she doesn't wear very much, if any, makeup. She's not trying to like be all glammed up. Like she's kind of being plain is like part of her thing. And exactly your point, Gothix. Like we have to remind ourselves like not to become the thing we hate. And it's very easy to dunk on somebody's looks. But ultimately, it's like, okay, you either like her advice, you like her content, or you don't.
Yeah, and
I
like
think
you
it
can
comes
refute it too.
And I think what's underneath that, it's easy. The easiest is to like dunk on her looks, but it's not. I think people get upset like about the points that she's making, so they'll take it out on her looks instead of like refuting her points or trying to have an argument.
And that's just as illogical as like anyone from any side of the political aisle doing the same thing. It's like, here's an argument, you don't like it, give me a counter argument. You telling me I have a receding hairline is not an argument.
Right, because I don't think she's out there trying to say she's like a 10 or something. I think she said she's a proud mid. Joshua 29, Stef will be the reason for the 50% increase of passport bros. She's got chat down bad. Welcome to SimpCast, Gothix. God bless and stay based. Oh, thanks, Joshua.
What did all that just mean?
I think he's trying to say that you will cause men to travel to your fine country.
Oh, fair enough. Enjoy. We've got London. You all pretty much go there anyway. But we've got Yorkshire as well. Ian Runkle of the Bit Early, YouTuber, came over earlier on this week for Captain Corey's funeral. And he travelled up to Yorkshire, went to Whitby. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so proud you actually came to my home county. He enjoyed it. And now he's in London, chilling out in London and flying back tomorrow. So, yeah.
I understood 70% of that. Went to Sunderland in Durham in 2019. Was wonderful. Oh, is that near you?
Ish.
Okay.
That's north. That ain't Yorkshire. That's like northeast.
Okay. Ellen Reese. Chrissy, you and Cecil should review the UK show Little Britain. It will shock you and your fans will love it. From a dirty old man. Love the show, girls. Okay, have you seen this? Do you know what he's talking about?
All I'm going to say is just remember the time period that it was like made in, which is like the noughties here, like before all this woke BS happened.
Okay, is it one of these shows that they definitely couldn't make today?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, no.
Which means I want them to make it today.
Oh, yeah. It would be amazing if they did, but they won't.
Oh, my God. What's it about? Is it just
it's like a sketch show.
Okay.
In a way, yeah. But like with recurring characters that they redo.
Okay.
And they're taking fun of like British kind of stereotypes.
Okay. Push-ups. Clam went after Mel. No mercy for ugly Clam. Oh, okay. You're talking about Pearl. And yeah, I guess she did go after Melanie Mac. Let me see if I can find that. Gosh. But we love Melanie Mac. Was this recently, like this week? Yeah, it's not the most productive thing to fight. Unless if someone does come after me directly, I will be pretty brutal. And I'll try to do it with humor. But maybe it's not always the best use of our time. I don't know, guys. I go back and forth on what to do with negative comments.
Well, I mean, you are a comedian and you can make that work, I think.
Yeah, I try to. Aki, come fly with me. It's shorter. What? What is that about?
Come Fly With Me is another series that the two main actors of Little Britain did, which is another one of those like piss takes out of British people, which is cool.
Okay. Jacob Bratton, what What's Stef's favorite British food, and why is most of it soaked in tomato sauce? Ugh.
I don't know what country you've been visiting, mate, but definitely not Britain. Tomato sauce is more like Italy. Everything like in Italy is like soaked in tomato sauce. My favorite British food is a good old fashioned fish and chips. Good old fashioned fish and chips. I like. Yeah, I can be absolutely Gucci with that. But my favorite food, sushi.
Ooh,
Okay.
I love sushi.
I love sushi.
I love sushi too. I really now this is I don't mean for this to come off a way that but I love super white tuna. It's like super soft. It's great. Oh, Anna's here. Anna. Hello.
Hey, Anna.
Hi.
Anna's here. I'm gonna put you over there because you're facing this way. What is new? How's it going? You have a calendar. Is it? I hope it's still on sale. I've been telling people it's
in demand now. It closed out last night.
Oh my God! I spoke too soon. You've missed
No,
your
I mean
window.
it's still available. It's just like in demand. There's not going to be any more add-ons or stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So they can still order it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up really quick. You can go to Indiegogo.com. That Star Wars Girl cosplay calendar bikini edition. This is what we've all been waiting for.
I think more people are
2024.
excited about the anime one, which is next.
Oh, is that for 2025?
Yeah.
You're already shooting that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, it never ends.
Look at this! Ah! You're so hot. Look at naughty girl. You've got blood all over your bits.
Yeah, it tasted terrible too. Like it smells like candy, like it's gonna taste like cotton candy, and it's like disgusting.
Okay, this is the fake blood. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But it smells so sweet, and my photographer's like, don't like get it in your mouth because it does taste bad. And I was like, but it smells so good, and instant regret.
Oh God. Did it stain your clothes?
No, wash this right off.
Okay. Wow. Decent. I love the Barbie. It's cute. It's so cute.
Thank you.
How did you know? Oh yeah, you must have known the Barbie movie was coming out. And we have Sailor. Is this Sailor
Mercury?
Mercury. I'm like Sailor Blue. I love it. Oh my God. I could do a calendar with just like all Madonna and like classic pinup. I love that vibe.
That's Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. I love this. Wait, what did I say?
Thank you for doing Lilu.
Madonna? My God. I'm losing it. Of course.
It's okay.
But, you know, Madonna did have a
Marilyn
window of time. Yeah. She had a Marilyn moment. Oh my God, I love it. Yes. Oh yeah. Lilu, Marilyn Monroe, Honey Rider, Lady Death, Wonder Woman, Vampirella, Psylocke, Savage Land Rogue, Red Sonja, and Surprise. Check it out, guys. How long does it take you to shoot a whole calendar?
Like 6 months.
Damn.
I know.
Okay. That's
I mean, I could do it faster. It's just a lot of work. So it's better to be spaced out and timed and get everything done.
So you're basically doing a shoot of some kind like every other week.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. What was your favorite character to shoot so far, and what was your least favorite?
Psylocke was my favorite so far. I just did that one this week, and then I think my least favorite was Barbie.
Really?
Yeah. It like the little curly bang hair was just a pain in the butt. And then having to look like plastic but not stiff in photos was very difficult.
Okay. So is that more of a makeup trick or more of a like
It's
how
a
you hold
posing
yourself?
trick.
Okay.
Like controlling your body and your face.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna show this Psylocke really quick. Okay. And we shot this today. I love it.
Psylocke cosplay. It's weird hearing my own voice back, but
I know. You're like, I hate the sound of my own voice too. How do you put together your costumes? Because these probably are not costumes that you can just order and they come in a bag.
no, I mean, it's the same way you put together a regular outfit. You just see what pieces you need and then start shopping or figuring out how to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I love it. Elsa Barrett. Oh, Chrissy, I forgot. Have Ian Runkle on. He's the most important Canadian after Viva left, especially for firearms owners. Oh, okay.
He's a decent dude.
He's one of Ricada's friends.
Oh, you guys know him? Okay, I'm writing it down on my blue board. My blue board of dreams.
So what were you guys talking about before I got here?
We were jumping around on a lot of different articles. We were talking a little bit about Kate Beckinsale looking hot at 50, and then we're like, who cares? Was ultimately the takeaway. There's a man walking around pretending to be a collie, even though he just bought a $24,000 costume.
Wasn't that the guy that like wanted to be a bear too, and he spent like a year trying to be a bear, and now he's switched to a dog?
Was it the same guy? Oh my goodness!
I think so.
There's
Wasn't
more
it,
of
like,
them.
realistic and looked like all furry, like actual fur.
Oh my god! I don't know. I appreciate cosplay and putting an outfit together, putting a costume together, but like if your whole face is covered, I think that puts you in a slightly different category. Like now you're in like you're either a mascot or you're
I
trying
think
to
doing like fetishizing yourself as an animal is very different than cosplay. Like that's a mental disorder.
Yeah. And I saw Oppenheimer last night, and it was like I was there for like 3+ hours, and we saw it at 10 o'clock. So it was a late night. It was good. Did any of you guys see Oppenheimer?
I saw it last night.
You saw it last night too?
Yeah.
It was it's interesting because when we talked about this on Friday Night Tights briefly, Az and Gary were a little bit like going at it with each other. So Gary was like, he felt like it was too pretentious of a movie, and Az was like, I disagree. And I'm more on the side of like, I don't think it was pretentious. Like, yes, there probably was 20% of the movie that I didn't fully understand, that I would like to have a little bit re-explained, just because I'm not super familiar with like quantum physics. And but it just seemed, I don't know, I liked it. I liked the artistic sometimes it's nice to not have everything
Did you like Dunkirk?
totally laid out. I don't think did I see Dunkirk? But it reminded me of Dunkirk. I think I did see it. It made me sad, but it was I think Emily Blunt did great.
Emily Blunt was in it?
She played the wife.
Oh. I didn't even know she was in this movie.
Oppenheimer.
Aside
Yeah.
from the Peaky Blinders guy, I don't know any of the cast. Or I don't know of any of the cast.
Yeah. Let me pull up who is in it. Oppenheimer. I think it's worth seeing. Makes me want to learn more about that that era.
World War II?
Yes. Just World War II in general. It did feel a little bit like you're sitting in class and the teacher like puts on a movie and like you have to watch it and do a report about it. I'm like, no, I have to learn this. This is history. And like not like it wasn't like a fun movie. Oh yes, there was nudity. And Florence Pugh was blackbarred over Oppenheimer nudity in India and the Middle East. Yeah, there was nudity like right away. There was a scene.
I don't think it's saying the whole story though with India, because part of and I've not seen it yet, but I am gonna be going next week, seeing it at the IMAX local to me. The part of the scene is where Florence Pugh and Oppenheimer, they're getting the bump and grind on, and at one point it's either she or Oppenheimer that's reading from and I'm probably going to butcher this, but the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Something along those lines. A very kind of ancient, holy text in India. And by them doing that, yeah, they're not.
Oh, I see.
It's basically, as I'm reading it, I'm trying to rationalize, well, what would that be likened to, let's say, the Western world? And I think it'd be likened to if, let's say, on screen someone's doing the bump and grind and they're reading from the Bible from the same time, or the Quran, let's say.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, so Oppenheimer is Christopher Nolan's first R-rated film in over 20 years. I didn't realize that. Due to its sexual content, nudity, explicit language. One scene featuring a topless Florence Pugh has offended religious and government officials alike in India and the Middle East, which have taken action to censor the shot since the film's global release. Pugh plays Jean Tatlock, a brilliant psychiatrist and communist who falls for physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer. A tweet by the so-called... And I had to make sure that there was no nudity. Yeah, they covered it up. A tweet by the so-called Disc Father, a self-proclaimed physical media advocate with tens of thousands of followers on social media, was one of the first moviegoers to spot the black box or dress that had been superimposed on Pugh's nude body in the interest of modesty. Oh, wow. Some countries are censoring Oppenheimer by putting a CGI black dress on Florence Pugh, the media buff wrote alongside. But that's pretty decent. It looks like she's just wearing like a cheap tube dress. Sources close to the movie's production have recently divulged to The Hollywood Reporter that rather than cut the not safe for work scene, a soft bass version showing the actress covered up was used to secure a release across the Middle East and India. I mean, who really hangs around sitting in the nice chairs completely naked after sex anyway? I've never done that.
No, I just go to sleep. I'm knackered.
Yeah, they're just chilling, both of them. Like naked. I'm like, if this were in my house growing up, there'd be like a plastic covering over this chair. Maybe that's why the plastic covering over the furniture started. The Insider added that the film cuts were created per usual business practice so they could debut in certain other countries. Nudity isn't the only aspect of Oppenheimer that's got Indian viewers riled. Elsewhere in the film, Pugh is depicted while engaging in intercourse with the main character as she urges him to read aloud verses from the Bhagavad Gita on Oppenheimer's shelf. The shot was previously condemned by Indian officials who claim it was inappropriate and offensive. It has come to our notice that the movie Oppenheimer contains a scene which makes a scathing attack on Hinduism, tweeted Uday Maharkar, I can't pronounce this, an information commissioner for the Indian government. As per social media reports, a scene in the movie shows a woman making the man read Bhagavad Gita aloud while getting over him and doing sexual intercourse. Interesting. Okay, so would that be the equivalent of, say, like you're banging somebody and you're like, here, read the Bible?
Or the Quran or something along those lines. In terms of like religious insensitivity. For how people in India are taking it. That's kind of how I'm trying to rationalize it in my head.
Yeah. I think it just shows because her character was like a button pusher and liked to push against authority. I don't know. And she also was pro-communism.
But there's actually a background story behind why she read that particular passage, because apparently it is what Oppenheimer actually said before he pressed the button.
Oh.
So it's actually got historical context as to why that was actually included in the film in the first place.
Do you remember what the line was?
No.
Oh, no.
I did a video about this on Movie World Plus earlier on this week. I've slept since then, love.
Okay. What was the line that...
Let's see.
Do they censor in India like when Americans are eating hamburgers? Because I mean, that's eating their cows. So they're sacred cows. Do they get offended by that too?
God, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Okay, so the quote was, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Yeah.
Ooh. I think it's interesting. I think I would watch it again. Because it seemed like just pretty dense, but I don't know. I thought it was artistically pretty cool, and everyone did a really good job. And I'm just like, oh, wow. I think they could have done a better job making Oppenheimer look kind of like cunty and condescending to set up for why we would understand somebody would want to take revenge on him. Robert Downey Jr.'s character ultimately like set him up to be like totally fucked over and take his security clearance away. That's the only.
Wait, Robert Downey Jr. was in this movie?
Yeah. He plays kind of Oppenheimer's, I guess, enemy or. Yeah.
Hmm.
It was good. It was good. I would see it. What did you think, Gothix? Did you like it?
I mean, I really liked it. I love the visuals of like watching him sort of like work through in his mind how destructive his intelligence is, like understanding I am so smart and I can essentially see into the future because I recognize how messed up humanity is. I like how they illustrated that.
I love that too. I love that we could see that he's kind of just burdened by his own genius, and it's an insight into a different kind of creative mind. Like I know what it's like to be inside of a like creative ADD comedian brain, and it's nice to see like, okay, this is what it'd be like inside the mind of a quantum physicist and like their kind of process. And it was interesting to see like the team aspect of like creating these different weapons. And yeah, there was a point in the movie where he's kind of like stepping through these bodies that have just turned into carbon basically, and he's able to like step through basically like the rib cage of, I mean, they didn't show it really graphically. It wasn't like you could see bodies, but there were, points in the movie where like the wind would be blowing and like skin would be sort of like flaking off a person, and they did just the right amount of like, oh, this guy knows exactly how much damage this does, and everyone's like applauding and clapping like, yay, America's so great, like we ended the war, we're the best, but they have no idea what's happening to these people.
Is it kind of like in A Beautiful Mind the way he sees equations?
I think so, yeah. God, I want to rewatch that movie too.
Did it bother you going from like the color to black and white throughout the movie?
I stylistically thought that was interesting, but it was a little bit confusing, and I thought it was sometimes a bit much of like too much of like going back and forth, but I can see what they were trying to do.
Oh, I didn't watch the movie and I don't really have any interest in it, but I saw something on Instagram talking about how when it's in color, it's from his perspective, and Nolan wrote it in like first person, and the black and white is the objective, like these are the facts. So that was written in third person.
Okay.
And I was like, that's kind of interesting, but
that's very cool. Okay, now I want to see it again just for that reason. And Matt Scroggins, super white tuna, thank you. Russell Hall, hooray, she made it past the 91K stretch goal. Oh, congrats.
They were teasing me about stretch marks last night, so that's in reference to that.
Trent Lemolino, I'm late to the stream, but Elon, a quote unquote globalist, even if he means well, he's an op. Oh yeah, Anna, we were talking about Elon Musk's sort of plans for Twitter/X to become what sounds like part of digital currency, and he just was like, yeah, I would like it to eventually be 50% of all the money, and we're like, yeah, that sounds a little dangerous. That sounds like you want to put forth a fucking social credit score. Austin Brown, an attack on the bold and beautiful Saint Melanie the Magnificent, first of her name, mobilized the bigot army, time to crusade. Good to see Gothix too. Thank you, Austin Brown. Push-ups again. Anna's right about Barbie. Enjoyed kidney stone more. Is that what you said?
No, it's not what I said, but I probably would agree if I ever had a kidney stone.
I know. And like I was texting Anna, I'm like, so many people have been wanting the two of us to talk about Barbie. And she's like, I'm sick of talking about it. I'm like, I'm sick of it too.
Everyone has been wanting me to come on and talk about it. I'm like, I've done this 3 times already. You know what? Next SimpCast we can talk about it. Give me a week break.
Oh.
Because I'm just so sick of it right now.
It'll definitely still be trending. It's doing really well. I'm like, okay. Deranged Lunatic, has anyone seen The Sound of Freedom? No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it this week.
I've seen it. It's good.
Do you love it? Is it great? Did you
Is
cry?
it rated or is it like just as good as everyone says?
No, I think the acting is really good. Yeah, it's a very emotional movie. Like it gets you in your feels. Like I don't know of anyone who can watch that movie and be like meh mid, because then I question what's inside their head. But it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Jordan Peterson did an interview with the guy that the movie's based on and Jim. And I was like, I want to hear more from this guy, like the main guy.
Yeah.
So it made me more intrigued to see it, but I'm like mentally preparing myself. I'm like, is this going to be like a Holocaust movie equivalent?
Oh,
you know?
No, I mean it's definitely different.
Like sad, you know?
Yeah, it's a different type of sad. Because I don't know, you got to watch it. It's good. It's good.
I know, but it's like, do I really want to sit here and watch like kids getting kidnapped? Like, I don't know if I can take that right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, Godzilla. I will never sit in plastic covered furniture again. Oh,
no.
Russell Hall. Didn't one of the most famous Bollywood stars used to make prawn? How uptight can they really be? Well, I don't know. I feel like in this country we've gone too far and we've allowed way too much to be okay and normalized. So I'm all for like,
what do you mean?
Scaling back maybe a little. Chrissy is too hot to be a comedian. Thank you so much. Chrissy is too hot to be a comedian. Not right. Are you saying that's incorrect? I will not accept that. Anna, are you excited for Anna's recently engaged? I like that you are doing like anytime you go away, you're like, here's my ring camping, here's my ring here.
Okay, Chrissy, I want you to know I watched your stream with you and Fealty of the whatever podcast that me and Brittany were on. I didn't notice it when I was there. You're right. Only one person said congratulations. And now I'm mad.
Right? I was like, they didn't make a big enough deal about it. Isn't that their whole thing? Is like they want, you know what I mean? Like, well, maybe not. I think it's more just it's a free for all and they want to see what happens and clip the best moments. But I think you deserved more, like more of a congrats from everybody, especially the host.
He did not like me.
Just because it just happened. Like what? And that's the thing is I wondered if perhaps he maybe had a crush on you or liked you or was trying to like vibe with you. No?
Absolutely not.
Do you think just the age thing turned him off?
No, it was weird before we even started the show. The two nicest girls that were there were the OnlyFans ones. Like they were super polite and, you know, talkative. Everyone else I think was like ready just to fight. And I'm like, ugh. I don't know. The older I get, the more I appreciate politeness in people. And yeah.
What was it like? Did you get there and everyone seemed nice, and then when the show started, it seemed contentious, or like
no? So we got like a long, like a novel of a message before, like telling us all of the rules, and it's like you're not allowed to take photos outside, and the only time like inside is in certain areas. We were told to dress like we were going on a first date or a club.
Yes, Venti told me that. Yeah,
neon colors or animal print.
Oh
and
my!
I already have my outfit picked out. I'm wearing black, and that's how it's going. Which is like no black, no dark brown, no navy blue. And I texted Brittany. I was like,
really? You could not wear dark colors.
No, and I was because it doesn't look good in the lighting. I'm like, that dude wears the same outfit every damn stream, and it's black and dark navy blue.
Yeah, that I'm calling cap. He wants a good thumbnail, a brightly
exactly
colored thumbnail.
Yeah.
Well,
dress for the thumbnail.
He found like a 7-year-old picture of Brittany and a 3-year-old picture of me, and he photoshopped my bikini top from yellow to pink. And I was like, okay, yeah, but he didn't put my name in the title. I'm like, you use like a 3-year-old photo of me in a bikini for your thumbnail, but you don't even put my name in. And then I checked. I was like, they don't put any of your handles, or I think they put everything in the description, but after they go live, so it doesn't update till the end. And all they do is promote your Instagram. I could care less about my Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'd
Who is
rather.
this dude again?
Huh?
Who is this person again? He's the host of the whatever podcast. His name is Brian, I think,
Atlas. Well, okay, so to be fair, he has like interns, I think is what they are, that help him with the show. And so he has Nick, who does the computer stuff, who he was very nice. And then the girl that sits in the back, what's her name? Madison. She was really nice too. But they make you sign like this release form before you do anything. And I told them, because they wanted to take a picture of our IDs, and I'm like, absolutely not. And he's like, we're not going to post it anywhere. And I was like, yeah, but what if you get hacked? Like, I'm not showing you my ID. And I was like, you can see that's why I made the joke about the Costco card. I'm like, you can see my Costco card.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, well, we need to say that prove that you're over 18. And so I was like, here. And I covered up like my, all my information so they could see. So it's like when he gave me shit about my age, I'm like, but you know how old I am. You looked at my ID.
Yeah, I don't like taking a photo of somebody's ID.
No. And he's like, we're not going to post it. And I was like, I understand, but just in case you get like somebody hacks you. Because they were really, this is also something like they were super concerned about security. Like, don't take pictures outside in case somebody can pinpoint where we are and something like that. And I'm like, okay, so you're worried about your security, but when I voice that I'm worried about my security, that's a problem.
He did not understand the concept of doxing, it seems.
No, he does. He does. I just wasn't doing what he wanted, I think. But no, it was uncomfortable, at least for me, from the very get-go. And I'm like,
Did he reach out, or did you volunteer to go on the?
So I did, because we were watching on the show that I do Thursdays. We watched it with Gorlock, and I was like, I want to meet Gorlock, and they're like, you should go on the show. And I was like, okay. So
I'm going to try to gain a bunch of weight and be the next Gorlock. Everyone loves Gorlock. She's an internet sensation. She's a meme. She's iconic.
I know. I mean, I thought that was funny. And that show at least looks somewhat fun. But this was like, I don't know, you could just feel like very uncomfortable. And one of the girls, like right when I was talking with the two OnlyFans girls, and like Brittany and Sean were standing there, and one of the girls came up and like introduced herself and was like, oh, like, what do you do? And she said what her job was. And she gave a different job 3 times on the show, which was not the job that she told us she did. And she told us right off the bat, she's like, oh yeah, like, don't take offense of what I'm going to do. I'm going to like do it this way. And then she like looked at me and I was like, oh my God, like, so you're just here to fight, basically. It was so uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. So do you think she was trying to be a character, or she wanted to like?
Well, that she told us right off the bat that's what she was going to do. So I should have been like, I don't know. I don't understand why someone would intentionally go into a situation to be like that. Like, just why would you be rude? Like, there's a way of doing things and coming off intelligent without having to be like that towards everyone.
I wonder if that's a woman thing. I've seen guys do that too.
I've seen lots of people debate and they don't have to come off that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. My biggest gripe was that he didn't offer you guys copious drinks and the chairs weren't comfortable, and like you could take bathroom breaks. That's what Venti was saying. You guys could like break and go to the bathroom, but it was 5 hours of sitting there. And
they also do like an after show, and we were not about that. No, I mean, they had like water, but I was just surprised that there wasn't I don't know, a little bit more. It did say in the novel that they sent us, make sure you eat so that way you don't get hungry. The whole taking away my straw was like a 10-minute ordeal before the stream started.
Wait, what happened? They took away your straw?
Well, Venti and I both had Starbucks because, and so I get the giant Starbucks, and so I need my straw. Also, it's just, I like having the straw, and it was a paper straw. And he's like, no, you're going to slurp into the mic. And I'm like, I do YouTube every single day. I never slurp into the mic. Like I get you're on like the show with like unprofessional people sometimes that maybe don't do streaming, but I'm like, first off, it's a paper straw. I couldn't even if I wanted to. And he already got mad at me and Brittany because we had our Starbucks and he like told us to pour it in. And I was like, why? And he's like, it's because we want it to look like a frat house. And I'm like, so why don't you have red?
You get red Solo cups.
Bro.
That's what I said. And I'm like, so get red Solo cups. And he's like, these are cooler. And I was like, I agree, but that's not what's in a frat house. And then I was like, is it because you don't want like getting sued by the brand? And he's like, he started saying yes. And then I was like, well, you have a Fight Club thing here. You have the Matrix thing here. You have In-N-Out cup in the back. Like you're surrounded by brands. So I don't get that. And then he just told us to pour it in their cup. So we did. And then I had my straw and he's like, you need to throw that away. And I was like, why? And I was like, I don't want, like, do you realize when you drink this stuff, it can stain your teeth? That's partially
Also,
why
it
he's
messes up your lipstick. Yeah, men don't know this. It's like,
well, then he told after going back and forth with him. And this is why like the girls brought it up because like it was like a 10-minute ordeal. And which was the most stupid thing. If you thought the age thing was stupid, the straw thing was even stupider. But then he made his intern Nick, he's like, come take her straw. And so the guy came over and took my straw. And I was like, all right, whatever.
And he took your straw. This was while you were on the air or before?
No, this is before. This is before we went on air. And then Madison reads us off this huge disclaimer of things and like this isn't your therapy session, which I was like, what? Who made this shit?
What?
Yeah, she's like, this isn't your therapy session. You don't need to get into like these specifics. Don't let things get too personal. Don't personally insult someone. And I'm just like,
isn't that all the show is?
Yeah, I know. And I was just like, you want us to talk about a date? Like, this is a dating podcast and you want to talk about dating experiences, but you don't want us to get too personal. You don't want to talk about any of these. It was just weird. It was a very strange, like, Lila asked me if I would do it again. I'm like, probably not. Like, I'd have to have a really good reason, but I don't know. It was uncomfortable.
I'm thinking of going because I'm going to be in LA in beginning of September. And I think it would be funny to go because I'm going to do a show in LA with Lila and Keanu. And I think it could be really fun. Like if all three of us were on together, I think we would have a blast. And we would definitely like bring a whole
that sounds fun. Mine was like 5 hours of I want to be anywhere else.
I'm just shocked they didn't ask you more questions because you were freshly engaged. Did they ask you like what led you to this point or anything like that? And they weren't.
You watched the stream? No,
I did, but I'm like, maybe I didn't. Maybe I missed something.
No, Chrissy, it got to the point where anytime I talked, it was like, let's focus on this. And if I gave like an answer, it was like move on instantly. And so I got to the point where I'm like, okay, there's no point in me giving my opinion on anything because it's so irritation to everyone else. So I just started making facial expressions like very animatedly. And so the host started liking me at the very end because I was just making crazy facial expressions and he started laughing. But I was like,
you felt a little bit like you shut down, like they didn't appreciate your point of view.
Well, I think they wanted me to shut down. I was not. You can tell when you're unwelcome somewhere.
I don't watch the show very often, but I don't get this impression that they really care about people getting engaged. Like I feel like they want the wild conversations.
They want you single and miserable.
Yeah, and okay, don't trauma dump. We don't want anything personal, but tell us everything about your sex life. Go into detail.
Well, you would think so. Usually what they do is, and they sat me, Brittany, and Sean on one side. What I think it's to get people to fight and get the gotcha.
Yeah.
And so they had Brittany and Sean, who are obviously in a relationship. I'm engaged. You have the OnlyFans girls. You have a chick that didn't know if she was married or not. And then
she said, "Oh, I'm married." I think, but then the guy had died. I'm like, why would you?
No, that's the OnlyFans chick. That was sad. But no, the French girl, Josie. So she was with someone for 7 years. She's like, I don't know if I'm married or not. I don't know if we're divorced or not, but I'm living in love with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
So it's like they try to bait you against each other, but anytime there was something like that, the conversation got switched. And so at some point, some guy sent like a $50 super chat, and it was like, how many pets do you have? What's like the weirdest turn on you have? And what's your political thing? And I'm like, okay, the dating podcast, because he said he was only going to ask us one. I was like, okay, it's going to be the weird, like, what's your weird fetish? And he's like, what's everyone's political leaning? I'm like, I thought this was a dating podcast. Like, what are we even talking about?
It's a mess. That show's a mess.
I mean, there's some really funny episodes and like clips you can watch, but
yeah,
it's very different being there.
Yeah.
And the table is a lot smaller than it looks. Like me and both of the girls I was sitting next to, all of us were all touching under the table, all of our knees. And it was like constantly like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I keep touching you. But
Is there a fan going? I have the sense that the air was
so it's a
stagnant.
It's really high ceilings, like super, super high. They had the door open. It was 1,000,000 degrees in there. But it's a really well lit room because it's all white, really high ceilings, like very bright lights, and then the table is white, so it's reflected onto you. So the lighting, I was like, I look great. Like I was really self conscious about
You
looking.
did look great. Yeah.
And so I was like, I love the way like my skin looks. Like I feel like I didn't even need to wear makeup, but yeah, it was hot. And everyone is very, very close. And they have like 4 or 5 different cameras. And it was so funny because they put Brittany on the corner and her hair was so big that they had to move the cameras.
Her hair,
you know,
hair took up a lot of space, but she looked great too. I thought like you and Venti and Sean did great. And like a lot of the guests were just not saying very much generally. So I just don't know why they have to have so many people on.
To fill the table.
Okay.
Like he wants the table full the whole time.
That's interesting. I mean, clearly they're doing something right. He's got a ton of subs, really entertaining clips to come out of there. Maybe it's just not meant for like a long watch, but
5 hours is too long, in my opinion.
Especially when you can't like click off to go pee or get a drink, or like sometimes
you can get up and go to the bathroom. They don't hold you there. At one point I really had to be, and the girl was in the bathroom for like 45 minutes. I was like, and
she didn't want to be there.
He was maybe pooping or on
for 45. I had to pee. I have a really little bladder, and I'm sitting there, and you can see when I start dancing, and I'm just like, I have to pee. And the second she left, I ran to the bathroom.
Wow.
But, and I mean, you can get water and stuff, and you can bring your own drinks. They tell you they're like no side conversations with people. And I'm like, if you have to say that, then that means people get bored. And then
yeah,
no tapping anything, no doing this. I mean, I brought something to like sketch because I do that. And so I was like, oh, I'll maybe like when people are talking about something I'm not interested in, like sketch someone across the table from me, which I very clearly was like, okay, I can't do that. And they're like, if you do this, you get kicked off. If you do this, they'll kick you off. And I felt bad for the one girl that showed up late. And I was like, she came like from 4 hours away, like farther than me and Brittany did. And I was like, she probably hit traffic the way that she's coming. She's got to go through the mountains. That's absolutely hell. And like, yeah, she was 45 minutes late as compared to like 3 hours late. That I would have understood. But I was like, she's 18 years old and she was a little bit late. She came from super far away. Just let her on the podcast.
So they wouldn't let her on right away?
They did. They made her sit in the back. But yeah.
Punished her. This is a very interesting comment from Digimental. High temperature helps make people feel uncomfortable to raise their aggression and unnerve people. It's an interrogation tactic. What?
I would actually so where I live in Southern California, which I mean, they're north of me. They live in Santa Barbara. A lot of places here don't get air conditioning because you're so close to the ocean. It used to not get this hot here. But so if you just open your windows and have a fan going, you'll be fine. So like my house wasn't built with air conditioning. Neither was a bunch in my neighborhood. So that's actually pretty normal here. But I can see how that would be a tactic in other places.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Mm.
This is interesting. Okay. I want to ask more questions about the show, Anna, but Gothix has to run.
I
Let me make sure
do.
there's no Gothixy questions here. Viking, excited for the wet spot eating competition tomorrow. Hope you stick to 10 minutes, though. I think 20 may be too long, and they may get sick. 12 to 15 minutes is considered ultra long for an eating competition. Okay, so we're having an eating competition on my other show, and this was about because we're trying to figure out how much time to let them eat it in. Okay, we'll go back to that. Crazy times. Gothix, my love, what is new? What is coming up for you? Where can the people find you? What are we working on?
You can find me at Gothix TV on YouTube. I don't really have anything new coming up. Yeah, nothing crazy new. Yeah, nothing, but it was great to be on. Nice chatting with you guys again, or girls rather. I don't want to misgender anyone here.
How dare you?
I am a collie.
Oh, that's terrifying. It's gonna give me nightmares. But yeah, I had a great time, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
You're the best, Gothix. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
We'll see you, hon. Take care.
Bye. Oh, I love her.
Oh, she's awesome.
I'm gonna put this back up again. So we're having an eating competition tomorrow on Wet Spot, and we're trying to figure out how much time to give the guys to eat all
What
their
are you
food.
eating?
It's a shit ton of McDonald's. It's like hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, fries. I think a Happy Meal.
Is this the movie Bob food challenge?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh! This one guy said that this is like a ridiculous amount of food, and Movie Bob said that it's a normal size amount of food for an average person, and it's like 4 double cheeseburgers, like 2 Big Macs, a bunch of like 2 20-piece chicken nuggets, and 4 large drinks.
Oh God, that's a lot. We'll probably just let them have 1 soda to help like slurp it down.
What are you doing? The Movie Bob challenge? Is that what this is?
No, I don't know who Movie Bob is.
Oh, you're good.
I feel like I should know. Okay. I hope I'm not like I'll have to familiarize myself with it so it doesn't look like I'm straight up copying. But I am leaning towards now 10 to 12 minutes. And then we'll just weigh. We'll have a scale. We'll weigh how much food they don't eat, and then the winner will be the person, obviously, who eats the most food.
Who's doing the challenge?
Fealty, who you've met. Who's one of my clippers. Jim Stansel, who's Compound Media related. He's like he's funny. He does a lot of podcasts, but I would say he's in the Compound Media talent pool. And Steve Conti, who is a Compound Media booth boy, but they can all eat. I think my money right now is Fealty because he's so confident and he doesn't seem at all worried about puking.
Are you making Cecil do it too?
Cecil is going to be a referee. I've already purchased a referee shirt for him, and in case somebody bails, he'll be an alternate.
You got to make that fatty eat.
Oh, and eating. I would like to see how much he can put away, though.
Make him do it.
Because he's like a closeted
He used to be
overeater.
fat.
Yeah. Anybody who used to be fat, like you can unleash the power of your fatness. You just have to get yourself into that place mentally. Dave Chandler, I've had a kidney stone. Like Barbie, you need sedatives to deal with it. Haha. They are painful. I've heard. Russell Hall, one of the girls on You Are Here with Anna was high as balls. I'm guessing she was the one who was in the bathroom for 5 minutes. Better her than
whatever.
You mean whatever?
The one that was on You Are Here with me was Chrissy.
We were on together.
I feel like if you would have been there, Chrissy, I would have had a much better time.
Oh, I would have. Yeah, if I were sitting on that panel, I would be like the whole time, like, what can I do to make people laugh? What can I do to like?
I know I would have had a much better time.
But yeah, he didn't seem like worried that people were bored and and not engaged. And I think as a host, like you should.
I mean, he was under a lot of heat from Brittany, so I think he was kind of focusing on that.
Oh, what? Because about the age thing, or was there something else that?
No. Did you not watch all of it?
I watched not the whole thing, but huge chunks of it because we recapped it.
A lot of it was like Brittany interrogating him.
Really? Okay, now I want to rewatch the whole thing.
Maybe watch the highlights.
Okay. What was she interrogating him about?
I don't remember. About
She's just doing her Brittany thing. She's just being like,
says,
yeah,
does, and he even said at one point, like, he's like, you're just going for a gotcha on me. And I'm like, well, that's what you're doing to literally everyone here. So who cares if she does it to you too?
Interesting. Okay. Cheekies. Doge Meyer says, I saw that episode live. I thought Superwoman, Super OnlyFans, Super Lawyer chick was so annoying. Oh, okay.
Oh, Jasmine, I liked her, but I don't know. That's because, you know what? She was really nice before we started the show. And like I said, as I've gotten older, when somebody is polite, that goes a long way with me as compared to somebody that's just like, I'm going to be a bitch and looks directly at you. And it's like,
was that the girl that was in like the nude bodysuit? The lawyer, she was nice, you said?
Jasmine. She was super nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked her and Alana if they wanted to come on the Jack show, and they said yeah. So Jasmine and Lana will come on.
Okay, I love that. Stef has to run. Stef, thank you so much for coming on. I adore you. I've enjoyed your accent. I've enjoyed your spicy takes. What is coming up for you? Where can people find you? Etc.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I adore you too, honey. And lovely to see you again, Anna. So yeah, you guys can find me on youtube.com/Stef the Alter Nerd or on Twitter @StefAlterNerd. And I give you the daily royal news and gossip on the terrible twosome and, other royal news as well. So yeah, if you like what was coming out of my gob, go visit me there. There's more of me.
Me gob. I love your gob. Everyone follow Stef. Twitter. Yes, follow her on Twitter.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. YouTube.
All the things. Thank you, Stef.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your the stream, you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my goodness. I know. I wonder if I don't mean to shit on the whatever podcast so much because I think I want to do it when I'm in LA. Just to see if I can make it fun.
Well, I'll warn you, it's not in LA, it's in Santa Barbara, which is like a 3-hour drive from LA.
3 hours, really? Wow.
I know. That's why. So actually, me and Sean, so I was already scheduled to go on a different day, and then Sean and Brittany were scheduled to go on a different day. And me and Sean were talking at your wedding because I don't know what Brittany was doing, but Sean and I were talking. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're coming to California soon. And I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, yeah, we're going on the whatever podcast. I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm supposed to go on, too. And then we both like simultaneously was like, oh, my gosh, let's try to go on together so we can all go. And I was like, perfect, because that's a long drive for me to do by myself.
Wow. That's good. Okay. So you all went together?
Yeah.
Who drove? Sean?
Sean's mom, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How is Sean's mom? Is she super tall?
Not really. She's like Brittany's height.
Okay.
I really like Sean's mom. She was super easy to talk to. She loves animals, so she and I like clicked.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
I'm always so interested in like what the parents of YouTubers feel about like was she like into Sean's content? Like, does she care about YouTube at all? Like, does she follow, him and Brittany?
I didn't ask. I just was talking to her about herself and her interests.
Okay.
Like, we just talked about animals a lot because they have like a very rare type of dog. And so I'm a dog person, so we talked about that. And then other stuff on the way up because we had a 3-hour drive. So
3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, somebody in the chat was like, they're not going to have you on. I think they just want whoever, because the process is literally you message them on Instagram and then they respond to you with a very long questionnaire, which I've yet to fill out. It's so many questions.
Did you get it already?
Yeah, I think it's automatically sent to you. Let me, I'm going to read this because it's interesting. Yeah, you have age, occupation, relationship status, location, identify how do you identify feminist, traditional, conservative, liberal, etc. And that's the thing is like, what did you put down for that? Because I feel like you're not somebody who.
So this is funny. Brittany asked me all of this before, and then Brittany answered all the questions before me and took all my answers. So when he got to me, he was pissed because she's like, "What are you going to say about your age?" And I was like, "I'm just going to say I'm in my 20s." Because it really doesn't matter how old I am. They want to know what phase of life you're in. And I'm like, I'm in my 20s and I'm engaged. So that's all you need to know. There's nothing, there's literally nothing more you need to know than that.
Like, okay, look at me. However old you think I look, go with that.
Oh, yeah. But so, and then Brittany was like, well, what if he pushes you? And I was like, well, I watched the Destiny episode and his wife, she didn't say her age at all. And she said like her occupation and then that she's, married to him, and he didn't push her. He didn't bring it up. He didn't press it. They just moved on with no problem. And I told that to Brittany. She's like, oh, okay, cool. And then that's why when he started pushing me, Venti brought up, well, like, you didn't push Destiny's wife on this.
Yeah. Interesting. And then they made the point, well, immigration, that's a legitimate reason not to.
Which was weird because I'm like, so you care more about protecting a non-American than an American that's like, I've already had to move. But it was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was hell. It was hell. But
the sixth question on here is, can you make it to Santa Barbara at your own expense? Please note, Santa Barbara is a 2-hour drive from Los Angeles, LAX. We have an airport nearby. Please list the exact dates that you could come on. Do you have girlfriends that you want to bring with you? I do. Any crazy, unique dating stories? Any specific dating related topics or things you'd like to speak about on the show? General thoughts and stance on modern dating. Any hot takes? Please set your profile to public. Oh, all right. Well, it seems to be working for them. And I
think you would be good on. I think that you'd probably have a nicer reception than I did, but it is. I think it depends on who you're on with.
Yeah. And the age question, I could be like, well, you've already got, let it be okay for people not to say their age. So,
Well, I mean, you've said your age multiple times on stream. Like I never have. And I've never put out any of my personal information. So, at that point, I'm just like, eh.
He didn't seem like he's known anyone who's been swatted he just seemed like, huh, really? That can happen? Like he was in disbelief.
No, he's not dumb. He knows. I think it was just when I brought that up and then it's like, oh, I've had hundreds of girls on my show. What if somebody gets upset about this and blames me? So because then he tried figuring out my age later when I said something about me being in college. And I was like, well, I graduated high school early. That's why I was in college at this time. So.
Yeah.
But whatever. He just told me just to lie. And I was like, I could, but I didn't. So.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter that much. Viking. Chrissy should bring Perry. Perry Carabello. That would be so funny. Oh my God, that's such a great idea.
Who's Perry?
Perry Carabello he's like an internet sensation. He was like a Hollywood actor. He had the kind of a bad car accident, but he's like fine still. He's just like a little different now, and he's got a cult following on YouTube. He does this show called Perry Carabello Live, and it's just become this inside joke. Like his fans just always send him McDonald's deliveries and fish fillets, and he gets really angry and like yells. He's like, I don't want to get more McDonald's, but people find it funny, so they just send him more and more McDonald's, and they'll like fuck with his sort of feed. They'll make it look like there's a tiger, walking in front of his apartment, and he actually like kind of believes it. He's just a character and he's very funny, and he would be really great on the Whatever podcast because he's older than the typical guest, and he's just he's a nut job, but in the best way. He's so funny. Yeah, he had a little bit of a brain injury. I'm really describing it well.
Was he the one that was on SimpCast a few weeks ago when I was at Comic-Con?
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. He's fun. I enjoy it. I think that his fans would really appreciate that. Hunter, people keep telling me to see The Sound of Freedom, but how can you see a sound? I've already heard The Sound of Freedom. Chrissie's laugh. Oh my God. Hunter, if you're, because there's multiple Hunters.
Is that Hunter Biden?
My life. Done. I hope it's not Hunter
Is he
Biden.
trying to give you some coke?
If you're the Hunter that has sent me so many wonderful gifts, please let me know, because I want to send you like a care package of like a SimpCast shirt. I want to send you a magnet. I want to send you stickers and stuff. So if this is you, let me know. Viking, Chrissy should bring Perry. Yes, I will. I should. That's a great idea. That is such a good idea. Yeah, I think it would be fun. I would go and try to just make people laugh. And I think I have a very good understanding, because I was a feminist and somebody who never wanted to get married, and I had a man-hating phase, and for years was just like just dumb, I think. But it's all part of just growing older and finding yourself. I'm learning the lessons. But
I know, like, I never thought I would ever get married. Like, I just, in my mind, that was never something I fantasized about. Never thought it was something I would ever do. And now it's like, oh, cool. I'm all excited.
When did you start to feel like, oh, I think I do want to get married?
I think when me and Peaches started dating, and he's like, I want to do all this with you. And I was like, oh, I'm too young.
Oh.
But then I was like, okay, like I'll because you want it, I'll do it. And then when he proposed, I was like,
oh,
it all feels right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was super emotional too. I was so surprised. Like, it's one thing to just talk about it.
I don't think I heard how Frank proposed to you.
It was such
I know it was on a
surprise.
show, right?
It was right after the biggest show of my whole career. I was hosting at the Beacon Theater. There was an event for Minds.com, which is an app where it's social media.
TimCast was that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Pool was there. Zuby, God, like so many. James O'Keefe was there. I'm forgetting a lot of the names. Destiny was there, and it was like a kind of like debate style. There were different panels about like different topics, like social media and just like more kind of like mostly politics, but it was supposed to be like a, like kind of like a freedom of speech. There were people from the left and the right. Like they did a very good job of like booking a lot of different voices, and I was hosting it, and I was freaking out about this gig for months and months. I was like trying to write specific jokes for each person that I was introducing, like jokes about the subject matter, but at the same time, like, you're at the Beacon Theater, and like there's nowhere to really run this set anywhere, because you can't just go to a comedy club and like do your jokes like, oh, I'm gonna run this joke I have about Destiny here, and people are like, what are you talking about? So there's nowhere to really run this set. Like, you're doing it the day of, the night of, and like, so I'm just really running this all by Frank, and he's helping me a little bit here and there, and like we kind of worked on it together, and but you're still shitting your pants, like, just please don't bomb. And so it was just like a long day, dressed kind of like the dress rehearsal. We did the staging. The hotel we were staying at was just a couple blocks from, and it's the Beacon Theater, which is a huge venue and iconic. Like, there's pictures of Jerry Seinfeld on the wall, like Steely Dan, like it's anybody who's anybody has performed there, and then me. So I just was like, it's this kind of venue, like almost.
You're so self-deprecating. You need to give yourself more credit.
If you've ever been to like a Radio City Music Hall or like whatever, the Madison Square Garden, it just feels important to be there. And I just was like, oh wow, this is a moment for sure. And so the show is over. I did great. Everything went really well, except for like I wore these high heels that weren't uncomfortable. They were uncomfortable, and so at the end I was like, I have to get these shoes off. We're done. We walked the 2 blocks to the hotel because I'm like, I gotta just change my shoes, and then we'll go to the after party, which was at Stand Up New York, which is a comedy club. Like, it's on 78th, and Beacon was on like I think 75th or something. Like really close by. So I'm like, I go to change my shoes and stuff. We're in the hotel room, which like, and we were bitching because like the AC didn't work. It was like this old hotel. And then I just turn around, and like Frank is just like there with the ring. And I was like, I just was like screaming. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And like, oh my God. And then I think it took me a while to answer because I just was like traumatized in a good way. I was
Aw.
like overwhelmed. It was so cool. It was so fun. I was like so happy. I was like, yay. It was such a surprise too, because it was already like the biggest night ever. And it was just like the cherry on top. It was so cool. And then we walked to Stand Up New York. And the first people I told that I was engaged was Carrie Smith and Mike Harlow, who were standing right out in front. And I was like, ah! The other hand.
Aw.
Yeah. It was really fun.
I was
Okay,
so
tell me your
excited.
story.
I thought I told you.
You were at was it the Empire State Building?
The Edge.
The Edge, and you were edging. It was a super nice view. Okay, but how did he do the turnaround? Like, how did the moment happen?
And well, so I was in a really bad mood. So I hate like unnecessary rules. Like I hate them. And so we had gotten dinner before because it was Father's Day. And so me and the munchkin, like, you know, when you're so hungry and then you take 2 bites of your food and you're full.
Mm-hmm.
So that was us. And so we just took it to go and we had full meals basically left. And I was like, okay, well, when we're done with this, when we get back to the hotel, I already know because she's 12, she's going to be hungry again. So we'll have food there. So it'll be fine. So we get up there and Peaches' phone had like died. And so I was irritated because his camera is better than mine. And I was like, damn it, charge your phone. So I gave him my portable charger. So that way his phone would be charged by the time we got there to take pictures and videos on his phone. And we get there and the guy's like, you can't have any food. And I was like, if this was a shopping bag, would that be okay? And he's like, no, you can't take food up there. And I'm like, there's a restaurant up there. So there is food up there. And he's like, well, you're not allowed to bring outside food. I'm like, we're not going to eat it. I have a child with me. Like, we're going to eat it later. And I was like, so you're really going to make me throw away my child's food?
Ooh.
And he was like, I can't let you up there without it. And I was like, if this was a Macy's bag instead of a restaurant bag, would you even say anything to me? Nope. And he was like, you need to throw it away. So I don't like that. Like that really made me angry. And Peach is like, we have to go because we're going to miss our time because we want to be there right at sunset. And so I was like, fine. And so he threw it away, but it had my portable charger in it and my charging cord. Androids and I have iPhones, so we didn't realize. So we got in the elevator and I was like, fuck. And so I was like, you know, we'll just get it out of the trash on our way out. And I was like, okay, fine. So we get up there and I see all this food. And I'm like, motherfucker. And so we're going to take pictures and there's so many people up there. And of course it's hot. And I'm like, we see the line to take a picture at the corner and it's like as long as a Disney landline. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so I was just, you know, when you're irritated, but you're trying not to be irritated because you're trying to enjoy it. And so he's like, let's just take a picture here. And then I see the munchkin with the phone. And if I would have realized he was going to propose, I would have had a grown-up film it. Picture. But he's like, let's take a picture together. And so I'm irritated. I'm looking off the edge of the edge and he's saying all these nice things. I'm like, you're just trying to say these nice things to make me in a better mood. And I know what you're doing. So it's irritating me more. And then he started kneeling and I just started crying because I knew what he was doing.
Oh my God.
And then I saw it and I was like, ah! And there's 200 people there. They all stopped and like watched us. And then they clapped when I said, yeah. And then we kissed and yeah.
Wow. Did you guys ever talk about like the proposal, like how you wanted it to happen or anything like that? Or like, did you know it was even close?
No, I had come to terms with the fact that he is never going to propose because I'm like, we've been together for 7 years. It's not happening.
So then he did it.
And he did. And I was like, yeah. And so my dad knew because he had called my dad and asked him. His parents knew. And then I called my mom and she was mad because I wasn't pregnant. She's like, oh.
What?
Yeah, she's like, I thought you were calling me to tell me you were having a baby. Now
you guys don't talk that much, right? So she thought.
We have been more recently, but no, she's been like, she wants grandkids. And so she's happy about it now. But when I called her, she's like, oh, I got all excited. I thought you were having a baby. And then she's like, so you guys are getting married. So am I going to have grandchildren next year?
Wow.
She told him the first time she met him, she's like, so I have another step grandkid. When am I going to get real ones?
Oh my God.
I know.
That seems like very bold to say that. Maybe I just don't understand like boomers, but that just seems like you have no idea what.
Well, all of her friends have like, they're on their third or fourth grandkid and she has none. So she wants grandkids.
Wow. But again, that's completely out of her hands. That's the number of grandkids. It's like there's nothing that is less in your control.
Well, she's kind of like, I think, traumatized about my brother. So my brother got married and him and his wife couldn't have kids. So they got divorced, but it wasn't my brother's fault. It was her fault. And she ended up cheating on him and having kids with a richer guy that could pay for like the artificial insemination stuff, which I mean, my brother makes like a very good living. So the fact that that wasn't good enough for her, that was kind of hard for all of us to take because we met her on my first birthday. So in my first birthday video, that's how we all met her. And she like ghosted everyone and like blocked all of us. And it was hard because I mean, I knew her since forever. And so my mom is just like, my brother obviously always wanted kids and now him and his current partner are too old and she already had kids from her first marriage. So my mom just doesn't want that happening to me.
Okay. Yeah. How old are they?
My brother's kids? Well, they're all in high school now.
Oh, okay. Are they like in their 40s?
Yeah, my brother's in his 40s. Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because the process of planning my wedding actually like brought me and my dad a lot closer, and I didn't expect that to happen at all because we just have never been super tight.
You know what's funny? At your wedding, we kept running into your dad everywhere. Everywhere we turn, we're like, "There's Chrissie's dad." I'm like, what is going on? Like I went hiking on the mountain, and then Peaches, we ran into each other. We saw you and your dad, and then we went to the zoo and we saw your dad. We went by the pool and we saw your dad. We went, I don't know, we went somewhere and we saw, like, everywhere we saw you. We saw your dad more than you.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah, I was trying to give him like a couple of like pre-wedding, like sentimental, like cute little gifts I had made for him. And then but then I see like friends are coming in and out. I just was like, I don't know. It probably was for the best because like, it's always good to like break the tension. Like, like, oh, hey, I have friends. And everybody was kind of ended up at the zoo at the same time, apparently.
That was
I didn't see the zoo. I have to go back. And you know what's crazy, Anna, is there was a crazy rainstorm in that area in upstate New York and washed away a lot of the trails and did a lot of damage to the Bear Mountain. And it was crazy because we were going to get married. We were looking at July. Like we were looking at a lot of dates this month. And it really worked out for the best because like it could have been very screwed and very like people would have not been able to go hiking or do the zoo because a lot of it was damaged in the rain.
When hiking.
Yeah,
for me at least.
I loved your stream, like you hiking in the flip-flops. I was like, this is so great.
You New Yorkers, your idea of hiking is stairs and mountains. That's not hiking.
But do you like to get up on rocks? Like, do you like actually like to climb like scale rocks and shit? Okay, and like go where there's no path.
Oh yeah, if there's a path, then I'm like, this isn't real hiking. This is like the kiddie rides for me at least. But everyone on that mountain was giving me the craziest looks, and I'm like, what on earth is this? I was in my pajamas and flip flops, and there so many people I passed with, like intense hiking gear, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like.
I think I just appreciate about you that you are just like, yeah, I'm just going to go for a little morning walk and see where it takes me. And then you're gone for like, what, 2-3 hours just in your pajamas and flip flops. Like, you're just like, yeah, I don't know. I'll see where this takes me. That's pretty cool.
Well, I did like that there was no homeless people. Like, if that was San Francisco, I would have ran into like a bunch of camps already.
Yeah, homeless people don't like to hike. I've seen.
They do in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah, one time I climbed up in a tree to get a good view of the Golden Gate Bridge and get a picture, and there was shit in the tree.
What?
Like some hobo climbed
in a tree.
Up the tree to shit in the tree.
Wow, maybe that's somebody identifying as a cat or a koala. That's so
Well, I was
wild.
like, at least they were like nice enough to not do it in the middle of the path, but you climbed a tree to take a dump in the tree. Like, give me a break. But it was pretty. I did realize at one point when I was by myself, because I went the more scenic way to get a picture, and then I heard a noise and I was like, oh shit, this is Bear Mountain and I'm all by myself.
Oh.
But it was fun. It was beautiful. Like, there would be no reason for me and Peaches to go to upstate New York aside from that. So that was cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it brought in. It was the venue was like very us, I think, because it reminded me a lot. There was so much wood on the inside, and it reminded us of like the first content house we did. We were in this we rented this big house that was like all wood on the inside, and we looked at so many of these venues, and like I don't know when you guys are gonna start looking at venues, but a lot of them just seemed like very nice cookie cutter, just like wedding factories. And I just was like, there wasn't a lot of personality. It just was like a big, nice, I don't know if you call it a catering hall or a big, nice, like wedding hall, like high ceilings, everything's bougie, white columns, everything's very nice. I'm just like, okay. It wasn't inspiring. And then I saw some pictures online of like people standing against like the stone wall and the wood. And I was like, we have to check this place out. And then I walked in, I was like, oh, I love it. Ugh.
Here, I'll put in the private jet, the place that just got back to me, that I'm like, I really hope that they told me that the date I want is available. No, I just have to go see it, because the people that I got my wedding dress from, they're like, this place is beautiful, but it's overpriced for what they offer. And I'm like, aren't all wedding places overpriced? But okay, I'll put.
Wait, so you already bought your wedding dress?
Did.
Wow, you're on it.
I've waited 7 years, Chrissy.
I know. I waited
And
like 8
also-
years.
Also, we're both down to one grandparent each. His grandma has MS really, really bad. And I mean, I'm down to one grandparent too. And I thought my last grandpa was going to be around forever, and shit happens. So I want to make sure that they're both there. So that's another reason.
That's nice. Yeah, none of our grandparents are alive anymore, and my mom's dead. So it just was like, yeah.
See, if my dad, if anything, knock on fucking wood, if anything happens to my dad like that, that'll just break me. I could not do this without my dad.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be great. That's
I got my wedding dress. The hardest thing that I'm finding.
That's what they told me. They were like, you better look. I waited 6 months before I even started looking for a dress. And then because it was a daunting process, because I think I waited because I didn't have I don't know, like a list of requirements. I didn't have like a Pinterest board. I was never one of these people that's like planning their wedding before they even meet the guy. So I was like intimidated by like the wedding dress process. So So right after like we got back, we were going up to where our families are from anyways. And so his mom was really excited, and I felt really bad for her because she has all boys. And when his brothers got married, their wives didn't include her in anything. And I remember when my brother got married, my mom felt really excluded because she's the mom of the groom. And so she got invited to the bridal shower, and that's about it. She wasn't involved in anything. So I remember how my mom felt. So I was like, okay, like, why don't me, you, and my mom all go wedding dress shopping? And I told both of them, like, okay, you guys pick out like your favorite ones, and I'll pick out my favorite ones, and I'll try them on all, and we'll see. And so the dress I got was actually one my mom picked out. Oh, that's cute.
So they I think that they both had fun and liked it. And so that was a fun experience. But I'm having the hardest time finding bridesmaids dresses. That is proving to be the hardest part of all of this.
Could you? Right, David's Bridal shutting down. That was the first place I went, and I was just like, oh, they have a ton of colors. God, could you do like a Macy's or something and just like?
I looked. So me and my best friend Sav, so we went. I told her we were going to go bride dress shopping, and then when we got there, I was like, "We're actually going for you, so you can."
Oh, that's cute.
And so I had her try on dresses, and my favorite color is yellow. which apparently is the least common bridesmaid's dress color.
That could be pretty though. A nice like buttery, like a pale
I'm
yellow.
thinking like really like pastel light yellow. And they discontinued that color at David's Bridal. And I know they were going under and they got bought out by another company. So I'm hoping that maybe they make changes and they bring it back. But that color, the color I liked, is discontinued. And I was like, you only have one yellow color and it's discontinued? Really?
Unbelievable.
So we went to a bunch of other stores, and because all my friends live all over the world. So I'm like, I got to find one that is a store that everyone can go to or order from online, which is extremely difficult.
Yeah, but with enough time, like with enough heads up, like I was amazed at how long it just took people to get their dresses and get them altered, like get them taken up. So everything just takes way longer than you think, but you're already on it. So it doesn't seem like you're procrastinating much.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been told, and I am the biggest procrastinator. But with this, I'm like, I want it all done now, so I have one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, I procrastinated so much on hiring my like the photographer and the videographer because I again was like completely overwhelmed by so many choices. I was like, I don't even know who. The not.com is giving me 100 different things. And then I think I booked somebody like 2
I'm
months before.
extremely picky, and this is the one time where it's actually coming out to be beneficial because I know exactly what I want in certain things.
Okay, good. That's good. Yay.
John is dying inside. I'm sorry, all you boys in the chat. This is called SimpCast. I know we're talking about.
No, it is sorry to be so gay.
Oh, I got to tell you though. So you gave me the worst recommendation. I should have gotten the kids' food.
Oh no, you didn't like the food?
No, I love the raviolis, but I don't like filet mignon because it's too soft for me and it was way too pink. And so I ended up giving it to the munchkin. So she got two meals.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. I was just laughing because
you order something else?
The kids' food.
Oh my god. You should have got the chicken nuggies.
I should have gotten the chicken nuggies.
Yeah,
so much. I'm so excited to see your pictures from it.
I know, me too. They're taking their sweet ass time. Apparently they have 90 days to get them to me. It feels like it's already been 90 days. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been 6 weeks. So that's like, we're coming up on that. 90 days. Well, shoot. No, we're not. I can't do math. I suck. 90 days is 3 months. So it's been a month and a half. So they have another month and a half.
Somebody says Anna knows what kind of blood she wants to bathe in. I do. AB negative because that's the rarest blood type.
Oh, is that your blood type?
No. I just know it's the rarest, so I know it's the most valuable. Well, I guess O negative is the most valuable, but no, that's just a random joke from True Blood.
Yeah. I have to do I'm behind on the thank yous too. I gotta get the thank yous out. Hunter. Oh, Chrissie is the Galadriel of FNT, an elven empress surrounded on all sides by dwarves and halflings. I'll take it.
Do you get the reference?
No, I don't.
Oh, no, it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I'm sure I could Google it up. Give it a goog. Push-ups. You told Carrie Harlow and another handsome guy. Oh, were you there too, push-ups? I forget. It was all blur. Hunter, Chrissie and Marilyn Monroe have a hot in common. Chrissie could easily cosplay Marilyn. Mayerlyn. Yeah, I enjoy her. Russell Hall, what if Peaches decides to go full Woody Allen and asks to adopt Cecil? Then you guys could hang out all the time in real life. That would be nice.
It's bad enough Cecil's coming to my wedding.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to touch Peaches though.
Heavily medicated. Anna like her steak well done. Do you like a hamburger?
I like it charcoal.
Okay. So you'll have a steak, but just well done.
Yeah, no. But at the same time, I really don't like it when I get steak from other people. I like it when either I cook it myself, Peaches, or my mom cooks it. I'm very picky about my meat. Unless they're hot dogs, then I don't care.
Those are great. Russell, I'm wondering what kind of food Anna will have at her wedding. She eats nothing but dirt and sugar.
I can tell you exactly what food I'm having at my wedding. This is where my insane pickiness comes in handy. I'm going to do buffet. So everyone can get exactly what they want. And so it's like, I'll have salad and you get to pick what dressing you want on your salad. Because some people don't like Caesar. Some people just want ranch, or some people want like a vinaigrette. I want fruit, and each fruit to be in each different bowl. So that way you can pick what fruit. And in case you're allergic, you can get that. I want pasta with 3 different sauces: red sauce, green sauce, Alfredo sauce, different types of bread. I want Portuguese food. And so just, you can pick whatever the fuck you want, and you can put whatever you want it. And that way there's no problem. See, this is where my insane pickiness comes in handy.
Or you could do, like a plated. So you don't want to do plated. You're just like, let people go pick what they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Russell Hall. Oh, Cecil's going to come. Yes, he will. That's cool. Okay.
Somebody said, Anna, Google yellow bridesmaid dresses. Really? Thank you, Albert Einstein. Thank you for that. I would have never thought to Google the thing I needed.
Yellow bridesmaid. What does Macy say? Oh, God. Any excuse to shop. Some of these are so expensive, too.
So here's my issue with bridesmaid dresses. My maid of honor is going to be Peaches' daughter. She's 12 years old.
Aww.
And then some of my best friends are very different heights, shapes, and sizes. So I need a dress that fits everyone. And I am in OCD in this aspect where I hate it when the dresses aren't the same.
Okay.
So I have to find a dress that matches every body's type, including a 12-year-old child and a full voluptuous woman.
So it's all going to be the same style of dress and color of dress? Okay.
Yes.
That is tricky.
I think I found one that I like. I actually might have it made for everyone.
Wow.
Because my 2 best friends from high school just got married this year. And so one of them, she went to Paris and they eloped in Paris, and then they're having a reception here. So she doesn't want to wear the same dress that she wore in Paris, because she said it was when you try it on in the store versus going out and doing things, it's very different. And so she didn't like the way that she couldn't move in it.
Oh, wow.
And so she found a woman that could make a different style dress that was exactly what she wanted for half the price of the dress that she bought. So I think I might just have that woman make it what I want in the materials that I want.
If she can do that, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Russell Hall. Gates McFadden says she'll do the garter ceremony.
One thing I can't have a Trump impersonator at my wedding like yours. That was hilarious.
Oh, thank you. My dad didn't really understand. I was like, Dad, did you think the Trump impersonator was funny? He's like, it's not really my style of humor, but like, okay, whatever makes you happy. I'm just like,
okay, so
how are you, my dad?
I guess went downstairs to get something, and they ran into Frank and his groomsmen and the flower dude, and he was like, "Is Chrissy having a stripper at her wedding?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "There's some guy that's like got a bow tie, but he's dressed differently." And I remember you told me that Frank has like a kind of out there brother, and I was like, "Oh, that's probably Frank's brother."
Oh, God. Yeah, we didn't really tell a lot of people about the flower dude thing. We, in fact, didn't even tell like people within the bridal party, which was a mistake. So I was like,
What? Why did they have a problem with it?
No, nobody had. We were just like, oh, let's keep it a secret. Like, it'll be so funny.
It was hilarious.
Oh, my God. Yeah, there's a stripper.
Well, to be fair, he had the bow tie.
Yeah, and he had no shirt on with the vest. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very muscly. Him and Cecil had the gayest moment at the bar after your wedding, where they both realized they had the same credit card.
Oh, right. I saw that picture.
They bonded over it, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, this is one of the gayest things I've ever seen. And I lived in San Francisco.
Oh, my God. I wish that I could have spent more time with each table and like each of each of my friends.
Oh,
And
you're fine. It was your wedding.
I know, but it's like all the stereotypical things they say. You're going to be so busy. You're not going to have time to eat. You're not going to have time to see everybody. But it's also so surreal. Like the whole time I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, wow. Like you're looking forward to it for so long. You're doing all this planning, and then all of a sudden it's happening, and then it's over. And you're like, oh, wow.
Did it go by super fast?
It did go by super fast, but and then I was sort of kicking myself for not starting on other things much sooner. I'm like, oh, well, I could have found like the perfect photographer instead of just literally whoever was available and close by. So, but I just dragged my feet on a lot of stuff because I don't know how people do this. Like if both people are working like a 9-to-5 job, I don't know how you have to hire a wedding planner or something, but I just don't know how people do it. Like if this were back before I like got fired, I don't know how I would have been able to do it, because all the appointments you have to go to, you have to like all the tailoring, all the like you have to see the florist. You don't just have to talk on the phone with them. You have to meet with them and like pick out flowers in a book, and it's a lot.
See, this is where the one thing I'm very happy about my particularness in this aspect, because I'm hoping I don't turn into a bridezilla, but I'm like, I very much know what I want. And,
That's good.
you know, like right now, I'm like, I told Peaches, like, because he's like, oh, what if I wore like cowboy boots and jeans? I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you can wear.
I could see him in that.
That's what he wore to his brother's wedding. And I'm like, we're not getting married in a barn. We are not doing any of this. I'm like, no, you're wearing a tuxedo like James Bond. And he's like, I don't want to wear a bow tie. I'm like, but you look hot in a bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, how about this? All the groomsmen wear bow ties and you wear a tie. And he's like, no. And I'm like, I'm just going to go pick out 3 different suit or tuxedos that I like. And you can pick from those 3 and that'll be good.
Yeah. I had envisioned
like me, so you have to listen to me now.
I had envisioned like different shades of like blues, because I had different shades of blues for the bridesmaids. So I was like, oh, the grooms could be in different shades of blues, and like I was like collecting these photos and stuff, and then it comes down to like, yeah, no, you just go to Men's Warehouse and you pick what they have and what they had, and the same thing. The groomsmen ranged in age from like 30s to 12. So the color that they had that would fit everybody was just like black. So it's like, all right, we're doing black. I was like, so much for my Pinterest board, my vision.
Yeah, I just wanted to look like James Bond. Like that tuxedo, it's classic. It goes with everything. Perfect.
It's easy for guys to look good. Like just throw on a nice suit.
know.
It's just, yeah.
Like every guy immediately, like you put on a suit or a tux, instantly better.
You're like, okay, hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And a lot of people are asking, like both of us, like, how does it feel now that you're married? Do you feel different? It's like, it doesn't at all. I think almost the bigger step is moving in together. Because once you're moved in together, that's the biggest change. You're going from not seeing each other every day to like, okay, now and I guess way back when they had it, yeah, you'd get married, then you'd move in together and it'd be like, oh, that would be the big deal. All the changes happening all at once, but it makes things so much easier if you live with the person first, because you've already done all the hard work of figuring out how to get along, division of chores, who likes to do what, how each other's schedules are. It's like getting married. It's like, okay, now we're just having a big party to celebrate that we're really doing this.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know. Because I never thought I would ever get married and that it's going to happen. Now I'm like learning something new about myself, that it was something that I had been wanting, because it felt like I had been holding my breath and I didn't know I had been holding my breath until he proposed. And then I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this all my life.
Oh, I get it though, because we're kind of taught to not want that. Like my feeling was like, if you're a girl who wants to get married, then you're kind of a loser and you're being a pick-me, or you don't have like more goals for yourself, or you don't think very highly of yourself if all you want or something you really want is to get married. Like that was ingrained, that just like, oh, really? You want to get married? You don't want to like achieve anything? You don't want to like sell out a stadium or a theater or it's kind of sad that was where I was operating from. And it felt very much like a thing you couldn't really ask for or communicate that you wanted. It's like either the person wants to propose to you or they don't. It's not something you can like ask someone to, you know what I mean?
Well, I think it might be because our parents, I think, are about the same age. And so I think our moms saw their moms in that very, like, the woman is completely reliant on the man and doesn't work. So if the man decides one day to kick her out, what are you going to do? And so I think our moms were raised with that fear, like, no, you have to be independent and marriage is bad. And then they taught that to us. Because I know that's what my mom was like, which was weird because my mom's been married 3 times. And so I was very much like, I never want to get married. I have no expectations of ever getting married. I have no desire to. If it happens, it happens. But I would much rather be independently stable financially and, mentally and all of that. And the partnership thing wasn't a priority. And then it just accidentally happens.
Yeah. It's such a huge fear that a lot of like girls our age, like, well, let's say, 20s to God, even like 40s. I think a lot of where this toxic femininity stems from is really just fear. I think that's what's under so much of this. If you have a woman who's like afraid, doesn't trust anybody, like, well, how am I going to protect myself if you leave? What if you cheat on me? It's like there's fear under every concern there. It's like fear that you're going to be left for somebody younger, fear that you're going to cheat, fear that if you give up your job, you're going to have that gap in your resume. It's going to be so much harder for you to resume your place in the workforce, like afraid of not being appreciated.
Well, they never tell you that if you have a gap in your work, no one's going to judge you because you decided to have a baby. Like nobody says that, when
no employer. Okay.
When they look at that, they're not going to judge you if they're like, oh, you were a drug addict and you went to rehab. Oh, that's a red flag. But it's like, oh no, I got married and I had my kids and now my kids are in school. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool.
Really? Okay. I was unemployed for like about a year and I was like in my 20s. I was very lost. I really didn't know what I wanted to do for work. So I just was like doing unemployment. And then when I tried to get a job, like after about a year, every interview I went on, I don't know if this is like a New York City thing. They grilled me on that year. They were like, "What were you? Why didn't you have why did it take you another year to find another job?" And it freaked me the fuck out. So that's why I was left with this like, don't ever not be working.
You could have been like, I was in college. Oh, my parent got sick. I had to take care of him. Oh, I had a baby. Like there's very reasonable things that just makes me think the people that were hiring you were assholes.
Because it freaked me out. It freaked me out.
No normal person does that. Like I had to do hiring when I worked for Disney, and there was plenty of like moms that they had their kids. They're like, yeah, I had my babies. My kids are all independent and in school now, and I'm ready to work and I got nothing else to do. It's like, that's great. That's not somebody who is planning to get married and have kids and potentially leave. So,
yeah. That really scared me at the time. And then I kind of learned my lesson of like, don't you dare to have another gap again, no matter what. That's why I took so many jobs I hated. But I think when you like, and I think about the Whatever podcast a lot and a lot of the clips and just, it's easy to shit on like the modern feminist woman who wants to be a girl boss. But what's under that is like a real fear and a lack of trust and a real just like a lot of women are so afraid of being like so fucked, and that's why we sort of have to like grow up with this thick skin and like this defense of like, all right, like I know for me it's like I have to always have a job because I figured look how hard it was the year I didn't and I almost didn't get hired again. If I get pregnant, can I plan for the worst case scenario of taking care of this kid all completely by myself? Because you're planning the guy's going to leave you. Like this is all like what was going on in my head. Like, can I plan for every worst case scenario?
You're just so all the people that run their podcasts are all in their 30s and single and unhappy. So you shouldn't base your self-worth on somebody that doesn't even have the things they're judging you for not having. right?
True.
So like the people that are mad at you because you took a year off are probably people that could never take a year off in their life, and they're upset at you because you could. So
That's
that when
true.
people get mad at you about that is because they're looking at an inadequacy in themselves.
That's true. And like I don't even know how old the people were interviewing me at the time, but
Were
the
they
way
women?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The way I would usually get jobs is I worked with a bunch of different headhunters because I started doing improv like right out of college, and then started doing stand up. So I would always just get like whatever job. Like I just email the headhunters, be like, "Oh, I got fired from another one. Like, what you got for me?" And then they would send me out on a bunch. I would usually be working for like, God, I worked in 4 different departments at NYU. I was temping for like about a year there in all these different departments, just wanting to get like hired full time. But I think I've had like 15 or 16 different jobs. Like, God, I worked at a school on the Upper East Side doing admissions. I worked at a title insurance company. I worked in 2 different advertising agencies. I worked at a talent agency. I worked making physically like hand constructing like wires for Fashion Week in a windowless office with like just a bunch of other guys. I took Craigslist jobs. I would just get and anytime these headhunters would send you out, like you have to take another typing test. A lot of this stuff was so old. Like,
What kind of jobs were you applying for?
always like assistant jobs because
I
that's
have
what
never had to take a typing test for anything.
That's all I was like. Either that's all I thought I was qualified to do, or that I thought I was in that track. And like my mom was a secretary, so maybe it was just ingrained. Like, okay, that's something I can do. But yeah, you always had to take a typing test, and you had to take an Excel and a PowerPoint because they wanted to know like how proficient you were at the Microsoft like Office suite, right? Like, can
Oh
you
my God.
do whatever kind of office work they throw at you? Because I was always interviewing for like either administrative assistant or executive assistant or like a receptionist job or something like that.
Mhm.
So it was nerve-wracking to be like, "How the fuck?" And I've never had to use PowerPoint in any job I've ever had. Yeah. I just was like, God, and
You
in
know
the
what you
last
can? They say, "Can you use the Microsoft suite?" You're like, "I can use the Adobe suite." And then
the
oh.
last job I had for 6 years, I was working for this, like, much older guy, and he was like, "Can you,
Oh, is
do
this the guy
sten"
who made buy you the perfume?
Yes, the one who then ultimately fired me for not getting the vaccine. He was like when I had my interview, when I got the job, it was a great job at the time. It was before my whole, like, political awakening. It was before, like it was great at the time. Um, and he was like, "Can you do what's it called? Not stenography, but speed writing. I forget what it's called. Somebody in
I
the chat
know
will know.
too.
It's like when you write something quickly, shorthand." He's like, "Do you know shorthand?" I was like, "Yeah, sure," because my mom knows shorthand. Like she would talk about it all the time. Like that's something you learn in secretarial school. That's something that like 70, 80-year-old men who are still working require of their
That
secretaries. I was like,
sounds like just being a waitress and taking orders.
but it's like a very specific, like writing whole words with just a couple lines. Like it's crazy. You can't just figure it out. And I was like, yeah, I know how to do that. And then a big part of my job was he would just talk and I would have to type out his emails for him. And then I'd have to put them in his drafts in his email. And he would hit send. It was the weirdest dynamic, but I had to just,
Oh
he
my
would
God,
talk.
it's symbols. I just looked this up. There's an
Yeah.
alphabet for short.
Shorthand is a thing. And thank God because I had an old iPad that I would bring into his office whenever he'd have to like have me type up a speech or something. And he'd start talking and I would start just typing it into my iPad and then eventually start typing it into the notes section of my phone. And that like saved my ass because I didn't have to learn shorthand. I just was typing it like as he spoke into my phone. He was dictating emails. Yeah, such a boomer. Dictated everything. He wanted me to write a fucking book for him. He wanted me to be his ghostwriter. I was like, people usually get a whole nother person to do that. Like you're trying to like just squeeze the most you can out of your executive assistant. And he really hated that I said no to that. And I had a huge axe to grind. But yeah, that was wild. Shorthand. It's a thing of the past, thank God for me now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know why you just wouldn't write.
Because if you're dictating,
You have to decipher this code.
fucking code.
That just irritates you. I guess if you don't want anyone to know what you're writing, but if you know shorthand, if you know it, then you know it. I guess that's the end. I could never do that.
Knows shorthand? Look at this. What the
Yeah,
fuck does this say? This looks like bad Sanskrit. Like, what in the world?
No, you know what? It looks like Arabic. Like really bad, sloppy Arabic to me. Because Arabic looks like very beautiful scripture, and this is just like if a kindergartner was trying to write in Arabic.
And even like, what's the point of relearning how to write a letter? Oh my God. This is how long does it take somebody to learn how to do this? This is a whole other language. What the fuck? All of these words look exactly the same. I have to show this photo. This is crazy.
I would see that would just tempt me to troll someone. I would just do a bunch of lines and and if they said anything, I would wrote down exactly what you said.
What the fuck? This looks like gobbledygook. This is scribble. Oh my God. This would take me years to learn.
I'd rather do my taxes than learn this.
Oh God.
And I hate doing my taxes.
Yes, of course I know shorthand. What are you talking about? You're hired.
Well, you know what, Chrissy? You never have to do it again.
No, that's sometimes in my nightmares I'm required to write shorthand. And then I wake up and
I would have nightmares about it too, so I don't blame you there.
Sweat. Jacob Rod and Anna, what refreshments will you have at your wedding? The dew? Oh,
the
yes.
mansion is demanding. We have Shirley Temples. No, we'll have a full whatever you want and unlimited bar, which is in my opinion and Peach's opinion doing
number one. It's number one thing.
Yeah, open bar.
Open bar. The rest, you'll figure it out.
Oh my God, you need to tell me about what happened with the thing at the bar after your wedding.
Oh, how you had to get thrown out? Yes.
Yes. Because apparently I had just missed it.
Yeah. It was nobody with a YouTube channel, so it's not that exciting to talk about. Grand Poltec, and congratulations to you both. My wife and I are celebrating our 20-year anniversary next month. Best of luck. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Grand.
congratulations.
Oh, Viking. Didn't Chrissy say she almost worked at a sex club? Yes. You pay very close attention. Yeah, I was very close. I was literally interviewing, and I think I just took a shower that night and started crying in the shower. And I was like, I think this is a sign I'm going in the wrong direction.
Wait, what were you gonna do there? Is the real question.
Threesomes and shit.
Huh?
Like basically they were like, you fold towels, pass out towels, and also jump into 3 ways. Like that's your
Oh yeah, no. I'm glad you didn't do that.
Would have been exhausting. Well, what's up, Zato? Welcome back from your band. Dear Chrissy, might you be able to interview Colin Quinn? I love Colin Quinn. I'll do my best. I think I still have his email. I should hit him up. Lag. I'm a non-millionaire in Scotland. Get divorced. You're too cute to stick. See, I don't like this. I don't like to hear from the surly divorced people. I think we need to be making marriage great again. Because here's the thing is like whatever problems you have, you're probably going to have with the next person. And your partner is just holding up a mirror for you. Like if you liked them enough to get married to them, then you should like them enough to make it work.
It's like you'd have to drastically. I keep telling Peaches, I'm like, the only way you're getting out of this is death. Like that's it. That's the only excuse. Like you have to dramatically change as a person. Like something really fucking terrible would have to happen.
Yeah,
just to escape me.
Yeah, and which is why I think that's like the good thing about dating somebody like 6, 7, 8 years before. It's like, all right, you've seen them through a leap year or two every season. Like Frank has seen me through like 2, we've been with each other, 3 deaths, firings, moving, like really everything, a pandemic, kidney stones, So
next year is a leap year.
really?
I know.
Ooh.
Peach is like, let's get married on leap year. I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
No?
No, I want a wedding anniversary every year.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you meant like not in a year where there was a leap year.
No, like on February 29th. I'm like, no.
No, don't get married on February 29th.
No, I don't only want a anniversary 4 years.
No,
I mean, it
that's
would be
crazy.
special, but no.
Russell, how do you negotiate a 3-way contract? Do they do contracts? No. It's impossible. Someone is always going to be unhappy in a 3-way. It's really 3 ways are to make one person happy. I've learned. And who knows? Unless you're like just built for it and you won't get jealous, but in my experience it's good. It's more hurtful than it is like fun. Unless you are really, really specific about your do's and don'ts. But
sounds like you had a bad experience.
Many bad experiences.
Aww.
Like 1, 2, 3.
No,
3 or 4. I'm good. Russell Hall anniversaries are mandatory butt stuff. It's a rule.
All right, Russell. We know what you do on your anniversaries. Oh, wait.
I have tried. I have offered up my beehole, and Frank is not interested, and that's one of my favorite things about him. Just couldn't be bothered with my beehole. I used to call that my bonus hole. I don't think the vagina should be called the bonus hole. I think your butthole, that's the bonus. Like that's the vag is a given. That's the hole that's going to be there for you. But the butt, that's birthdays, that's promotions, that's tequila nights.
Oh. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. Do you want to have a DJ or a band?
I feel like bands are more interactive, but I feel like it's more logical for us to have a DJ. That way we get the songs. I loved that you had, was it your aunt or Frank's aunt that sang?
It was Frank's aunt. She's so talented.
So good.
She's good. Yeah, she sang like our song.
Yeah, if anyone from my family tried singing, everyone would want to pull their eardrums out.
Yeah, it was so sweet. She like had practiced it for like months and months, and because that's like high stakes. I didn't realize like how nerve-wracking that would be. It's like you're singing the couple's first dance song. And
well, it gave me the idea. My best friend from high school, she's an incredible singer, and she sounds like Adele but better.
Ooh.
And so I might ask her to do it.
That's great. That's a great idea. I love that. Oh, I also really enjoyed the process of us like picking out our song. That was pretty cool. It's cool to like listen to the lyrics of a song with your person and being like, what kind of describes our dynamic. That's pretty cool. Zachary and I still haven't received my save the date card invitation. She just got engaged, Zachary. Invitation for the wedding. Am I not invited? Also, hail Comicsgate.
Hello. I'm not going to do that until we get a venue set because I have 2 different dates in mind that I'm going to do it. And it really depends on if the venue is available or not. And so we found one that we try to get in contact with this damn venue forever. And I'm like, how do you have business if you don't answer your phones or emails? And then we found out the woman that runs it just had open heart surgery. And I was like, oh shit. I feel sorry. But she said our date is available. So we have to go tour the venue. But I'm not sending out save the dates until I have a venue reserved.
Yeah, that's so smart. My sister did the ultimate fail of all time. She sent out 2 save the dates, then never sent out a don't save the date, and then never had a wedding, and then got married in secret in Vegas. Didn't tell me till 6 months later when she was drunk in a pool. That's not how you have a wedding. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was so. I felt like just offended by all of that. It was crazy rude. Russell Hall, yeah, and I haven't received mine either.
You know what? Russell, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to invite you.
Well, Womp womp. Keanu. Me and Bisconti's song is WAP. His choice, not mine.
Aw. See, I want to do I Can't Help Falling in Love with You from Elvis.
That's a nice song.
Yeah. So I was like, I want that one. And Pete, like we when we were driving up to get his munchkin and see my mom's to go shopping for wedding dresses, we just listened to music and like what songs we want to dance with, like each other and then with our parents. And yeah.
Wow. See, you're like, I didn't think about a lot of this stuff till like 2 months before. Russell Hall says, you know what? Fine. J-Doll and I were planning to crash.
Aw. You know what, Russell? Cecil is gonna have a +1. You can try convincing Cecil to take you as his date.
I was so worried too about the information getting out. I told everybody, like, you cannot say when this is, where this is. I hired a bunch of extra security. Like there were a lot of cops invited there, not on purpose, just because that's a lot of our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought a lot about security because after getting swatted twice and like everybody there is like not everyone, but there were a lot of people there that are hated by many.
Yeah, like I saw
internet.
Gavin and what's your other friend's name? Your boss, Compound Media guy, Kumia.
Yeah,
they were sitting there, and yeah, if somebody found out that like them, and I feel like I should throw Brittany in there too.
Yes, Alex Stein. So many people hate him.
Dude, Alex is a giant. I was like, you're so like ginormous person.
He's big in person. He's very tall. But he's such a sweetheart. Russell, we all know Cecil's +1 is the groom.
Russell.
Womp womp. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was really paranoid about security. Like really, really, really I was like, I gotta bring over muffins and donuts. I gotta visit the cops.
Everyone on both of my sides of the family have guns, so we're like, and we're gonna be in a good place. So if there's any kind of anything like that, the boys will take care of it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we were in New York, so
Well,
nobody could be strapped.
I'm letting all my family and his family bring their kids. So like that, I'm like, you're really gonna come fuck around with a place with a bunch of children? Like really?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I just pass people on the internet. So
I was just like, let's not swat the wedding. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
Luckily, the
nobody
park
did.
Nobody did. The park police was like, basically like on the same property as the Bear Mountain, and I had a couple guys that were really like surveying and looking out like the whole time.
That's good.
That was really neat. I appreciated that.
How did you have to like tell the hotel like, hey, I'm an internet person? There's weirdos.
I always downplay that stuff because I just in my mind I don't think I'm that all that much. But I was trying to explain like, oh yeah, I'm a comedian. Like there'll be comedians here and internet people. I think I just said it like that. I totally downplayed it. Because I didn't want them to like Google me and then be like, sorry, we can't have you here. I was so worried that the photographer was going to be woke. I was like looking at one of the photographer's Instagram and I was like, they're taking pictures of BLM. They're going to cancel on us. I was so worried. I was giving these people as little information as possible. I was like, I wanted to be like, please don't Google me. Please just don't. Because it was going to be like, the people that are not going to bake the cake for the gays. I thought it was going to be like that, but for me, in the opposite direction. We're not going to bake a cake for you straights, okay? Gino. Hey, Anna, great job on Keanu Cast this week. #shameless plug.
I love how you got your girls back at all times. No, I love Keanu. I loved going on her show. That was fun. We talked about movies, and she and I have completely different tastes, which is fine.
You guys talked about the Barbie movie.
We did. That was one of the shows where I talked about the Barbie movie. But no, like she loves M. Night Shyamalan, and I passionately hate him. No, we talked about movies, which was fun.
Aw, cool.
Yeah, it was cool meeting Keanu at your wedding and Gino, and getting drunk with Gino and Kumia and getting that wife.
Oh, that was so fun. Yeah. It did just feel like a big content house. That's the key to a good wedding is like if there are a lot of people who all know each other, then it's just gonna be a fun hang. And the open bar. Cause I was like, I sat all like we had to sit all our family like close to us. And like I'm looking at the seating chart. I'm like, all the best people are in the back. Like all my favorite people are in like the
I thought you were being strategic and putting us next to the bar. And I was like, oh, cool. The one thing I was like, I just assumed me and Cecil were sitting next to each other. So I was like, where are you going, fag? When he started walking off, he's like, I'm not at your table. And I was like, what? You're not at my table? And then I saw who was at my table and I was like, you're not with the girls.
Oh, it was a lot. You have a lot to think of because
it was funny. It was like every guy was circling our table because you sat Melanie there. Melanie and Brittany, and so all like the single guys kept coming over to our table, and then me and Ari and her boyfriend are all talking and bonding because I had never met her in person.
I thought you guys would get along. It's tricky because when you look at your list, you're like, there are certain people that can sit with a lot of different types of people, and then there's certain people that only really know one person or two people, and then so like you start from there, like really try to make it so that. Okay, like you basically know everybody at the table, or most. It's hard. That was tricky. That was very tricky to do. God, and then there was a table where like 6 people just like bailed and didn't even tell me they weren't coming, and I was like enraged.
Well, you know what? All 6 of those people, I ate all of their raviolis. So I want you to know your food did not go to waste because somebody that was sitting next to me didn't show up, and I ate their food.
Unbelievable.
So none of that went to waste. I want you to know.
Okay, good. People. I'm just like, what do people think this is? Like, oh, like a wedding is not like a happy hour. It's not just like, I don't know, I'll come or not, whatever.
No, that's expensive. That is fucked up.
It's like I printed a fucking name tag for you. Okay. Anyway. Good times. Good times. I'm very impressed with you, Anna. You're on your shit already so quickly.
I'm just worried about the stuff that I haven't thought of yet. And so I'm just like, shit, what am I not thinking about? That's an issue.
I think the knot.com has like, they'll give you a checklist, like what you're supposed to be doing 8 months out, 6 months out. That was kind of helpful.
There's some of my family, like obviously my parents are divorced. And so some of my mom's family and my they don't really know my dad's side, but my dad's side don't really like my mom because of the divorce and don't really like me, but I have to invite them. So I'm just like, this is awkward.
Oh yeah. There's always going to be family that you don't care for that you have to have there. And yeah. But
I'm just like, what am I not preparing for? That's going to be the downfall of me. Did you wear high heels the whole time, or did you have flip flops?
Yeah, I was very passionate about wearing high heels all night because I just personally was like, I didn't want to phone it in. But I had like 2 different kinds of heels. Like I had like my really posh, like walk down the aisle pair, and then I did the first dance in that, and then I changed to like a block heel with like an open toe that was like really comfortable. So I just but like people wear cowboy boots, people wear slippers, people wear
I think I'm just gonna get I don't really like wearing super high heels, so I was thinking of maybe getting like wedges or like something with like Tempur-Pedic foam because that's usually what I wear.
That's nice. Yeah. You just got to make sure whatever. And I was like lucky that the 2 shoes that I picked were the same exact height because you'll get your dress altered to the shoes that you're going to wear the day of. But then you can just like, if you have a dress that bustles, it'll pick up in the back, or you could always get like a cheaper like short dress to throw on later. People do it. People do
highly against that. I love my dress, so I'm gonna wear it the whole night. Luckily, I don't have to alter like any of the top part. It's just the length because the woman that had this dress was 6 feet fucking tall, and I'm obviously not. So the length definitely has to be fixed, but I don't think I'm gonna wear more than like this high, if anything.
That's good. That's good. Oh, Keanu, hi, love bugs. You both look ravishing. Oh, thank you, Keanu. You're so nice. Yes, Keanu and Gino. I'm gonna be what?
I said something tells me her and Gino are hanging out and watching SimpCast. What's up, guys?
Good, they should be. I'm going to be guest hosting for the Anthony Cumia show tomorrow at 4 p.m. So tune in. Gino's going to be on. Keanu's going to be on. It's going to be a bacchanal, as Keanu would say. So I can't wait to hear about their weekend in South Carolina. And then, of course, we're doing Wet Spot at 7 with the McDonald's eating contest. Holly Hendricks will be there. Cecil will be there. Gigi Dior
going to be there.
Gigi Dior will be there. Yes.
Ooh.
Food, not asses. It will not be an ass eating contest.
Yet that you know of.
Yet. We'll see. Maybe that'll be dessert. Everybody tune in. Anna, what's coming up for you this week?
What is coming up for me? Jack show and Flashcast until something else happens that I don't know about. But yeah, that's about it. Jack show on Thursday night, Flashcast on Saturday night.
I have what else? Oh, I have a wax tomorrow. That's good. Tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing Roger Stone at 8:00. That's going to be a big one. And then I have Leonardo Joni, who's a comedian. He's like a political pundit. He was an advisor to Trump. He's just a very old school, like political guy who has spicy takes, and he's like flamboyant, and he's like a provocateur. He's basically like an old Alex Stein.
Okay. Is he on the right or the left?
He's on the right. Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you, because this was controversial last night, what's Pierce Morgan's stance? What do you think?
Oof.
I have no idea who he was.
I don't know how to feel about him because he was really, really wrong about the vaccine and the lockdowns and was really pushing that in the mainstream way. At this point, just watching how he's moving, I think he just wants to do whatever gets him the most attention and talk to whoever is making the most news at the time. So it's hard to know, like.
So he's just a clout chaser.
It kind of seems that way, but like you could argue anybody on any screen is doing that.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to look more deeply into how he feels about a lot of other things. But yeah, not the biggest fan.
Gotcha.
Right now.
I thought he was a comedian, and then they're like, no, he's a political commentator. And I was like, for what side? And everyone gives me a different answer. So I'm like, I don't know.
It's hard to know.
Well, so this guy you're interviewing is not like that. He's definitely on one side.
No, he's definitely on the right. He's written multiple books. He was an advisor to Trump. He's just like, it's gonna be the kind of interview where I just sit there and he just like goes off. He's just like he's a lot of fun. And then I have Leonardo Joni tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Tuesday at 8 is Roger Stone. Tuesday at 10:30 is Leonardo Joni. And then I'm working on getting Wrist Flex back on. So tomorrow, eating contest. Tuesday are those interviews. So tune in, and then I have something else on Wednesday, but it's on my other calendar that I can't see from here. Anyway, this was fun. Thank you, Anna, for coming on.
No problem.
I think I had a little bit like weird energy at the beginning because I was coming off of being drunk on a boat all afternoon, and then I had to quickly get it together and do this show. So
no, I'm sorry it was so late. I would have jumped in earlier. I just was getting certain things done.
Glad you're here. Russell Hall, Pierce Morgan is Anna's favorite C word. Wow.
It's like cunt? I don't think he's my favorite cunt, Russell.
Yeah, I think hers would be her favorite. Her bonus hole. Anyway, this was fun, guys. Get tickets to see me in Texas. Go to ChrissieMayr.com. See me in Austin, August 9th. See me in Houston, August 11th with Lila Hart. It's going to be a blast. See you guys at Anime Matsuri. Should be fun. And any like tips for Anime Matsuri or things to do and see, or is it like similar to all the other conventions?
Definitely get your sleep. You don't have to be there at the crack of dawn. have a specific time for when you're going to be at your table. I didn't, and I had like a 2-hour line, and I wasn't like you just there because you can't leave because you have a line. So I would announce when you're going to be there, like what time I will be at my table from this time to this time. That way, you're not getting people saying, "Oh, well, I was there and you weren't there."
Oh, okay.
Like, figure out when. I would suggest like 2 to 5, or even like, I don't know, 3 to 5. Print that out, put that on your table so people know, so that way you know that you're going to be there. You have a plan. Don't have it when your panels are, and promote your panels. Let them know also when your panels are. I never have taken merch there, but I know you and Lila do. So I don't just that let people know when you're going to be there. So that way people can plan accordingly, and that way you don't miss out on seeing anyone and have fun.
That is really good advice, because I am someone who could so easily just like stay there all day, sleep under the desk, wake up, do it all over again because I'm afraid of disappointing anybody.
No, definitely have times. Most of the time you're going to be, if Cecil's going, so Cecil knows all the good places to go to drink and to eat. So just that, don't buy pot cookies from someone at the bar.
Oh, did that happen to you?
It did.
Oh no! Did you know they were pot cookies, or do you think?
Yes, I did. Well, okay, so Chrissy, when I first went there, it was right like after. I mean, it was not, COVID hadn't ended. Like, people were still being weird about the mask thing, but it was Texas, so it's Texas. But all of the vending machines were not full, and there was no open restaurants around except for like a pizza place at a 3-hour wait. And
Oh, no.
I didn't know this. None of us knew this. And so we were all starving and then we didn't know. Oh, also the food people, they have, what is it called? The chicken place.
Raising Cane's?
No, the one that you made a joke about. Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Which is not open on Sundays. So there's no food vendor there on Sunday. And so I was starving. We were at a bar drinking. This guy comes up and is like, "Are you 420 friendly?" And being from California, I'm like, "Yeah, everyone is." And he pulled out the most delicious looking cookies. And I was so drunk and so hungry. And I bought one. And it was a big cookie. And I was like, "How much do I eat?" And he said, "Half." And I was like, "Are you sure? Because I'm little." And he's like, "Yeah, half." And I was so hungry the next morning, and I ate it, and I could taste how strong it is. And I was like, "No, he said half. Maybe it's just like strong butter." Cecil will tell you everything else that happened. Yeah, don't do it. So
I don't like
make sure you have
marijuana.
snacks.
Yeah.
Honestly, you and Lila stop by a Target and buy snacks and alcohol and chasers so you can have in your hotel room, because everything is overpriced.
That's smart.
Plan out when you're going to be at your booth, and the guys usually have planned where you're going to go eat and what bars you're going to go to, so you don't have to worry about that. But just the days, don't worry about being there early.
I really appreciated going to was it Orlando, and I think we were both in Orlando and both in Boston together, like just appreciating like your work ethic, like you do wake up like pretty early to like get yourself ready, like you're very timed out and professional. And I don't know, I was like really impressed with you.
Oh, thank you. When I go on, I'm a night owl at home. When I go on vacation, I'm like the crack of dawn. I got to start doing stuff. So also, so you can write off your trip and people like seeing it, film every day. Just be like, "This is day one. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's go on an adventure." Just film 1-minute segments anytime you think of something eventful is happening. At the end of the day, you have a 10-minute video and just post it the next day. Call it day one.
So smart. SimpCast. Love ya. TSWG. Thank you. Marthrio. Hector G. Anna, do you consider yourself a trad wife? Would you quit doing provocative calendars if your husband asked? Ooh.
Well, my name isn't that. It's literally spelled right here. And my calendars aren't provocative. I'm cosplaying as the characters, which look and are a certain way. And if he doesn't want me to do that. I think that that speaks more for his own insecurity. And luckily, I'm not marrying an insecure person.
And
Because
this has been like part of who
literally
you've been
what
the
I
whole
wear
time.
is more than what you see at the beach. Like I wouldn't wear anything that would make me uncomfortable, so it's not going to make him uncomfortable. If you're that insecure with your partner wearing basically a swimsuit, then I think that's you need to do your own self-reflection.
Yeah, true. And it doesn't matter if you wear a bathing suit or like regular clothes. Like if you're a good-looking chick on the internet, you're going to be hit on a ton no matter what you wear. So you got to be okay with that.
Well, I mean, when people say that, I'm like, okay, what about every single model ever? So David Bowie's wife, Iman, like she did swimsuit, she did nude, she did high fashion, she did runway, and they had an extremely happy, loving marriage until he passed. And even now, she's still like, no, I'm not getting remarried. That's my husband. David Bowie is my husband. It doesn't matter if he's alive or dead. He's my husband. He's my partner. Like literally, go look at any model ever. So it's weird because I'm an internet person. It's held to different standards.
Yeah. You're not a model, Anna. You're a regular person. Khalil, if I was able to go to Anna's wedding reception and there was pastis de nata there, I would just feast on those. I don't know what that is. Pasties?
It's a Portuguese like dessert.
Oh, not pasties. Cecil! I'll have everything set up, Chrissy. This is my third anime matsuri. Oh, wow.
You got it. Just literally have a different outfit to wear. So wear something different to the con and then have a different going out at night outfit.
Okay.
And
So they don't
then-
recognize you?
Not just that. So this is what I did. So I had my cosplay that I would wear to the con, and then I would go back to the room. I would have some downtime. I would change. I would refresh my makeup, and then you go out to dinner and go out drinking, and it's a lot of fun. And so I would just, especially Houston, the humidity, you need a refresh.
Bring extra panties. Got it. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to shower either. Also, I still have my bracelet. So there's a fancy pool at the hotel, and it's like $100 for the bracelets.
Oh,
I'll see
wow.
if I can like mail you. I kept mine.
For the pool?
Yeah, I'll see if I can mail it to you.
Interesting. Or mail them to Lila.
Oh yeah. Or I just mail them to Cecil and he'll get them and give them to you.
I just mailed Lila like $1,400 worth of t-shirts that I'm going to sell between the convention and the comedy shows.
Oh, is she just driving there?
I'm flying there. Yes, she is going to drive from Dallas. Yeah.
You're going to have fun.
I'm going to be afraid to shower.
Why?
I think that's just like, that's funny. I was just envisioning like someone being afraid. I think it's like if you think your hair is going to get fucked up, but no.
I was like, I need to. It's just, well, I had my hair in wigs for most of the day. I would go back to the hotel. I'd shower, do my hair, and then go out with everyone.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But
Gotta shower off the day. Even better, just air it out. Commandos. You can't go commando. It's too much rubbing. I guess it depends what you wear. Okay. Yes, I'll have to wear my American Airlines pants. I gotta start packing. It's coming. It's like next week already. I'm flying out the 8th.
I was getting all the memories on my phone that it was happening right now last year.
Oh.
So I'm like, but it is what it is.
Visconti is terrified of showering. Really?
No. He's a boy.
That's funny. Okay. Oh, you're fun. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. We love you. Thank you for simping with us. And we will see you very soon. Love you all.